have to go through all of this. Let me try one more time. It's so weird. Okay, let's try restarting, I guess, one more time. I don't know what else to do. Edie, if I open the door for you, you have to go out, Pumpkin. All right, let's hear some music. What's going on there? We didn't listen to Abelina Ballerina yesterday. I do have some merch for the album that's coming out on Spotify in January. So Lena Ballerina, Consent, Water's Edge, Ex Parte, Miss Me With That Misogyny, No Kings, No Gods. Check out my Discord and check out the announcements over there. Let's listen to Abelina Ballerina.
Stage lacing up her ballet shoes. Abelina Ballerina, they applaud as you dance. You're so precious, little angel. Dance away if you can. Abelina Ballerina, wooden floor counting time. In the mirror she's a swan, arabesque in pink tights. Abelina Ballerina, sitting still in a pew. Preacher says that light you feel doesn't really come from you. They tell her every step is borrowed, her plie heaven sent. And for every bow she's taken, she's got something to repent. Abelina Ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy, so be a good little girl. Abelina Ballerina, preacher says, let us pray. Closes the door so no one hears. Calls it a special game. He says this is guidance. Says she's holy, full of grace. Claims God needs her silence. Blessed are those that obey. Abelina Ballerina, the light has left her.
Good morning, Slay. Good morning, Sunny.
Hears the music and her steps are out.
If you are a friend, come on up.
Remember how you twirled, who's to blame if they're not holy? You're still just a little girl. Abelina Ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy, so be a good little girl. Abelina Ballerina, those aren't butterflies you feel. Life grows heavy inside you, child. There's no way to conceal. They say her name like a warning. Obedience her only crime. While he preaches purity, taking them for every dime. Abelina Ballerina learns what judgment cost. Learns who gets forgiven and who pays the loss. Abelina Ballerina learns to mother through the ache. Learns that love can still be sacred even after what they take. She devours her education and her eyes begin to shine. Music pours out from within her and her steps fall back in time. She reads the words they cherry-picked, preaches truth they try to hide. She interrogates the God, she uncovers every lie. She shows why nothing ever changes, who the system with your little girl. Abelina, ballerina, dancing center stage again. Abelina, ballerina, dancing barefoot in the sun. You're so precious, little angel, and your dance has just begun.
I woke up this morning and I was feeling blah. I talked about this with my friend yesterday. I did the anti-sermon yesterday on Sarah. And during that process, I spoke about my own miscarriage. And I don't think I had really processed the grief from that miscarriage when it happened to me because I was a Christian woman. And I don't think I allowed myself to grieve. I spent too much time trying to figure out that deeper message. I spent so much time trying to figure out what it all meant, you know? And so last night I took some time to grieve and process what I wrote, what I read to y'all, the feelings that it brought up. Grief isn't always just what people think. Like, grief is complicated. Grief is messy. We grieve people who have harmed us. If you've ever been abused by a parent in any way, and you either go no contact with that parent or you lose that parent, there's still grief. There's grief. And there was a lot of grief that I didn't process with this baby because it wasn't a baby that we were expecting. And it wasn't a baby that we 100% knew we wanted when we first got the news. And I think that made me feel like I didn't have the right to grieve. And yeah. And those things are fucked up because of a patriarchal, misogynistic society that values women for their bodies, not just for sex, but for incubators and life producers. And we don't value women for just being here, just being alive. Can somebody please block the anti-Semitic piece of shit Wang half? Thank you. Thank you, Schley. You did it just as I saw it. Thank you. I didn't know that writing sermons and writing this music was a form of therapy for me. You can come on up if you want, Dr. Joe. I'm just processing shit today. I'm just doing it live as I kind of did it live yesterday. Hi, Dr. Joe. How are you?
I am okay, Crystal. I'm trying to declutter, reorganize, and reconceptualize my space. My sister, who was widowed last year, is
Does
coming
it feel
to.
good?
It does, but
Oh wait, hang on one second. I have a little issue with my. Can you talk again?
sure. So my sister.
I can't hear you. Hang on one second. My Bluetooth is messing up. Okay, try one more time.
One more time. How about now?
Still can't hear you. Let me try one more thing.
I was about to spill all the Dr. Joe secrets.
All right, try one more time.
All right, we ready?
It's going to a different Bluetooth and I don't know what it's doing. Delete all the other ones. To
Can the chat hear me?
forget all these other devices. Sorry.
Hey, Schley. Hey, Colton.
Man. Okay, I'm going to take off my headphones for a minute, just hear you through my phone because for some reason they're saying they're connected, but it's not connected. Go ahead now.
Okay, are you with trying to re
as you're reading through these stories. Trying to hold it together because this is very emotional. It sucks to know how much blame that we carry as women who follow this God, and then how much we blame each other and how much we harm each other as women because we're taught to compete and we're taught to judge and we're taught to other.
Absolutely. And you know, I deconstructed a long time ago, really. It was 2009 is really when I started. Probably not that we're ever finished, but probably completely atheist by 2011. But it's like, this is going to sound really cliche, but it's like an onion, right? So each part of it, it's like I revisit that at a deeper level over the years. And the impact of the high control religion, just, I understand it more profoundly each time. And guilt and the patriarchy is one of my themes right now, that men aren't, they aren't socialized to take on the guilt and the blame the way we are.
No.
In any, almost any circumstance or capacity. They just are not.
No, they are not. As a matter of fact, they are taught to find blame in somebody else, to pass the buck, to not own up to the things that they've done. And I don't know, I don't know. Just there's so many realizations when digging in deeper into these stories and what we're taught and what these stories taught us very young as little girls. Because we learned them so very young, right? I am going to bring I'm going to bring a guest up What does that mean, Steve? Nobody goes, I'm of the lesbian persuasion. Nobody says that, Steve. So no, now you can't come up because that's a weird thing. But I do have another guest in the box. And I'll bring them up. Dr. Joan, you can stay if you'd like. You do whatever you want. Okay. Hello, Level Up. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Good afternoon, 38.
And are you a believer of the God of the Bible?
No.
Oh, okay. How can I help you today?
Do you consider yourself a liberal?
No, actually, I consider myself an independent.
Would you say that you lean more towards progressive views or conservative views?
I lean more towards progressive views.
So in essence, the hallmark of that would be liberal. So let me explain. Do you know John Locke was?
No,
Okay, John Locke is the father of liberalism, or he's considered the father of liberals. You can look it up at another time, but basically he believed in your natural.
With the Bible is just
no. I'm going to address it because it has to do with religious tolerance, which is an issue. You basically are asking people who are religious to validate their faith to you, and they don't have to.
I'm not. But thank you for coming up. And if you want to totally somebody or something, go do.
No, I understand you're not smart enough to have this conversation.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to have a conversation about the Bible is just a book of claims. What are you talking about? You just came up here to yell at somebody. I'm not in the mood today, sir.
He came up aggressive to start, didn't take the time to get to know either of us, and started attacking us from a toxic, patriarchal, and didn't even take 2 minutes to start name calling. Oh my goodness.
It's just so wild. I'm not asking somebody to justify their whole worldview, but I do want to talk about the fact that the Bible is just a book of claims, that we don't have any evidence for the things that the book says. And I wanted to talk about that today. Now, there are many people who actually believe what I'm saying and still have a God. They do believe that the Bible is mythology, but they still believe in a God. I don't have to take away your entire faith to talk about the claims in the Bible. I don't know. I guess there is only one God now. I did not know that. I'm not sure when that happened, but I guess there's only one God now. And then to hear people talking about, this is wild to me. I'm talking about a miscarriage and I am being accused of an abortion, which who gives a fuck if I had 20 abortions, but they're not even listening to the conversation. They're just getting angry for no reason in the comments. You guys, thank you so much for all the likes, the shares, the follows, the gifts. Keep tapping that screen. If you are a believer of the God of the Bible and you want to talk today about your Bible and its claims, the guest box is open. I see lots of friendlies in the chat. If you are one of my friends and you want to come up and sit with me, the guest box is open for you as well. I don't bring up a ton of friendlies, but I'll bring up a couple more. And we'll just go ahead and listen to another song because I think that I need a little tiny emotional break for a minute to sip some coffee. Think about all the heavy shit we just talked about. Just to reset the brain for a minute. Let's listen to Consent.
C-O-N-S-E-N-T. Consent.
I'll try to fix my home.
Option to me. Consent. Respect the boundaries. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. No praying. No praying. No touch. Don't speak to me without my fucking ass first. You pray on. Hey, if you don't get a yes, you never have consent. I submit, bitch, don't get in there. My body ain't a toy, the hood don't even play. Without Don't ask why. Heaven's full of godly men do tell them send me first class straight to heaven. My yes, my no is a no. It's hard to learn your scriptures if you know you know. You quote the Bible when it benefits you. But my consent ain't subject to you. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. 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 No praying. No praying. No touch, don't speak to me without my fucking notes. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. 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 No praying. C-O-N-S-E-N-T.
No, I don't think consent is in that language. Sunny, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yay! My headphones work. Yay!
Oh, good. Yay.
I don't know why they weren't connecting before. They were like making the noise like they were connecting, and Dr. Joe's box was lighting up, but nothing was coming through my headphones before. So, good to have you here.
Oh, honey, my box hasn't lit up in a very long time.
I don't know. Oh, that's funny. Well, you guys, if you are a believer of the God of the Bible and you want to come up and talk, we're just talking about how the Bible is just a book of claims. There's really nothing to back it up. And I want to talk about those claims and why you believe them. What makes you believe any of them? And if we don't get somebody in here in a few minutes with it, I'm going to go ahead and change the background. I do have a couple. Don't forget, our goal today is 100,000 likes in 3 hours. I start at 10 and I go until 1, unless we meet our gift goal, and then I stay an extra hour for y'all. Also, every time you gift, whether it's a heart me or whether you send a little extra something to my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal that are located in my link tree, all that money is going to help me upgrade my equipment. And so far, you guys have helped me. I have upgraded a few pieces of the equipment, including my blackout curtains. My daughter-in-law and son bought me a light, and my husband bought me a desk, but you guys have helped me so that I'm buying a chair this week. And then the next thing is everything's going into the computer so I can be a little more professional. No, I didn't know my YouTube isn't streaming. Well, thank you for telling me. Why isn't it? Oh, it's because I never fixed it. Thank you for telling me. This happens if I go to restart. I always forget to start the YouTube when I do it. Thank you for telling me. Well, maybe. I still can't get it going. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, let's try it this way. I'm going to have to restart again, and I'm going to forget again. So you guys will have to remind me yet again, okay? Because I definitely will forget again. Sometimes I have to just restart OBS. Sometimes I have to restart OBS and Chrome. Sometimes I have to restart OBS, Chrome, and my computer. And I never know which combination will work until I try them all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and change the background. Then I'm going to play another song for you, and then we'll see if we can get some conversation. Hopefully we won't have any more crash outs. I don't know why I get guys who are just angry with me the minute they get up here. Like the minute they come up, they're just so mad already.
That's just the misogyny. It makes them angry, like all the time.
Right. Combined with you being articulate, strong, passionate, and outspoken, you're just a threat.
It's just wild to me. It's like, what are you so, like, could you just imagine being so angry all the time? It must be exhausting mentally and physically. It just has to be exhausting. All right, let's play another song. Do I have a request? We played Consent and Abelina. Do you want Miss Me? Ty here. Do you want Ex Parte? Ty here has good. She has good requests.
No.
Oh, did you not mean to come up? Oh, drummer.
No,
If you
I
don't want to
did.
hear
I
a
just
song,
had
you
to
can
close
leave.
out YouTube or you're going to hear yourself twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So definitely ex parte. But I did come up. I just wanted to thank you for your vulnerability and for sharing your story, because it's, a lot of us see you, and even Christians probably see you as, a strong person. You stand up for yourself, you stand up for others. But I think it's also important to show, like, that while we can be tough, we're complex, we're also soft. We also have, times where, maybe we're more in our emotional brain, and that's the female experience. And, and also to that point, like when you share your story, you're also, speaking to things that a lot of other people have gone through. So I just want to encourage you, even the hard stuff, keep, telling your story, keep speaking on these things. They're so important. You're doing such great work. And yeah, just wanted to encourage you a little bit.
Thank you. That means a lot to me, because I do talk about these things because I think I felt really alone going through a lot of this stuff. And I don't want other people to feel alone. I want people who either are going through these things, have gone through these things, or will go through these things to realize that other people have been there. And it's okay to process our emotions about it, and it's okay to be church hurt. First of all, it's okay to be church hurt. These Christians who come in here and go, "You're just fucking church hurt," like that doesn't mean anything, can go fuck right off. Okay, they are the people who are hurting people. They are the abusers. That's why they minimize it. They are the people doing these things. And it's okay to be church hurt, and it's okay to be hurt by what we believed was a God, even though we now realize that there is no God, okay? That entity was very real to us, right? And it hurt us. The beliefs we had in it. The sacrifices we made to it and for it, right? And for women, that was our bodies,
Absolutely. You're spot on. And to that very point, any kind of church hurt with, I agree with Joel in that every Christian has church hurt to an extent, even if they don't know it. But I don't think that should or does invalidate our current, opinions and current feelings. And as we reflect back on what we've been through, I don't think it should undermine any of that. So that said, I'm going to go jam out to Ex Parte, hang out in the comments. Okay. Love you, Crystal.
Love you too.
All right. I'll see ya.
The thing is that Christians also have life hurt, right? And they tell us that because that's their entire testimony, right? I came to God at my weakest moment. I was a miserable person. I was, harming myself and others. And that's why they turn to God. So they always think that the reason why we would leave God is that it was from pain. They can't imagine for 1 minute that it's actually because we used our brains. that we did some critical thinking, you know?
And if I can chime in to say to Drummer, and I think there was another comment too, like, it's not God. We're not blaming God up here. None of us are blaming God for anything. We can't blame God because we don't believe God exists, but it's that belief in God that is causing so many people to hurt others. So we know it's not God. We're not trying to blame God for anything. We'd have to believe in him first.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, we're going to listen to ex parte. If you are a believer of a God or gods or a higher power, I'm just wondering, is your being that you believe in, is it useless? Because I'm not seeing any of the evidence of it doing anything. And so I'm wondering what it does. And if it doesn't do anything, what's the point? Just wondering. Let's listen to ex parte.
I hope I'm not late to the party. I've got something to say. And I want every gentleman here to have a front row seat for this ex-party. Ex-party for the ladies. One side talks, one side stays mute. You carved your covenant in marble, but forgot the feet that swept the pews. We bore the sons that filled these seas. And you signed the pact without the wound, I believe. I call this one to order, heaven and earth, bear witness today. Let the record show from the garden's first spring, the blame had a woman's name. Two men sat in the shade of a tree, Adam and Yahweh right in history. They needed a scapegoat, they signed the brief. From that moment on, sin's name was Eve. Leave two men alone, it's always the same. If they can't find a woman, they'll make one to blame. This is my ex-party, my one woman plea. You created the humanity and tried to frame me. You called it divine, but the terms were deceit. I stand unbound with chains at my feet. At Sinai's peak, no woman was hurt. Shekinah silenced, her faith secured. Let the judge and jury see. The law came by, but we didn't concede. The contract is known as divine. May the record show no woman sign. We never needed a savior or lamb, because the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man. Oh, in the land of Egypt we lit the flame. Our mother's prayers, our songs unashamed. We worship the heavens, the stars, the seas. We knew the truth before their decrees. The sign of the men left us behind, abandoning women, blind leading the blind. We bore the children, we kept the fire. They stood on our backs as they climbed higher. Once our rituals were pure, hands in the earth, spirit sure. With Asherah raised, they gave us no choice, but no God, no man can silence a war. May it please the court to hear my battle cry. We denounced the God, we denounced the lies. The pens were theirs, the scrolls they made. It is man's guilt and man that needs saved. Rise up now, we hold the power. It's time they bow. Find out it's never ours to share. Without the glory, there's no guilt to bear. Every woman today stands free. If sin is owned, man holds the deed. The contract is null as divine. May the record show no woman sign. We never needed a savior, because the truth is his name is man. Yes, his name is man. Yes, the truth is his name is man.
Slay and Tiger are just killing it in chat.
Yes, the truth is his name is man. Sin's name is man.
I see a lot of yappers in chat, but they don't want to come up and talk today. If God isn't useless, just come up and talk to us about what God does that's useful. I'd love to hear. This is a chance, like a lot of creators won't let you come up and share your personal testimony. You are allowed to come up and tell me your personal testimony. How was God useful for you? You know, it's rare when someone sees the real you. I don't even know what that means. People see the real me every fucking day on here. What are you talking about? God isn't useless. Okay, Logan, come up and talk about it. Actually trying to talk to people, but to say I wouldn't push back would be ridiculous. Of course, I'm going to push back if a claim is unfounded or not true. But like yesterday, we had an amazing conversation with a Christian man who just, shared with us his thoughts and asked us our thoughts, and it was a mutual exchange. Yes, anything for clicks. That's why I put such a rage baity topic up there. It's so rage baity. Oh my goodness. Asking a question now is rage bait. Yeah, you should see what the churches will do for $1. Y'all always complain that people are on TikTok and YouTube and stuff, and they're just trying to make a little money to feed their family. But your mega church pastors driving around in Rolls Royces, dressed with Louis Vuitton and stuff, you're cool with pouring money in there, huh? You're all good with that.
Let's go back to the church hurt.
Yeah, let's go back to the church hurt.
I mod for Sarah leaving faith, right? And she almost every live gets some, were you church hurt? Who church hurt you? Some kind. And it's men don't usually get asked that, by the way. So it's another one of those, but it's so patronizing. And you were talking, Crystal, about how there's just this assumption that we couldn't have come to deconstruction through critical thinking. And that's where the church hurt. And frankly, I was church hurt, but that wasn't the whole of my story, right? But just the assumption that there's no way we could have gotten there through our intellect. And then if they in any way intuit that was part of it, then we get the lean not on your own understanding.
Right? Yeah, we do get that. Yep. And the thing is, I've talked about this before. I was church hurt, but not in the way that people think. Nobody did something at the church to hurt me. What hurt me was when I realized I actually believed and the people in the church did not. I believed that if 2 or more were gathered in his name, there he was also, and that a miracle would happen. But I quickly learned they don't believe that. None of them believe that. They think if it will happen, it will happen. Okay, so big whoop. I mean, then what? That's nothing then. That's literally no power in that God whatsoever. That's why I want to know, is he useless? Because they make excuses for why prayers don't work every single day. But they're never willing to show that it does work. They only, I prayed and my grandma was healed of cancer. Did anybody else in your family die of cancer? Oh yeah, several people have died from cancer in my family. Oh well, you didn't heal them. So it's just a crapshoot. Doesn't mean anything. He doesn't do anything.
For a couple of years, I was the lead of our church's prayer chain. And Not only did I realize that it was just a Christian excuse for gossip, then
Exactly. It
right,
is.
yeah, but the selective answering of prayer and the selective bias or confirmation bias of answered prayer that emerged from that process was just so blatant.
Yeah.
And then the pretzels in which people had to twist themselves to get to reduce the distress associated with it if they looked at it accurately. Yeah, it wasn't a church hurt so much as a and then if you called anybody on any of that, they would, well, we are sinful. We were born sinful, and humans are humans. And it was just this load of BS.
It's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. I've talked about this before. Towards the end of I didn't actually stop believing in God right away. Like I stopped going to the church I was going to, and then slowly that's when I started having more and more critical thought about the whole story, I stopped going to the church first, though, because of a series of events, but one of them in which the whole church was called to hold a prayer vigil in order to pick a new youth pastor. At the time, I was the interim youth pastor. I knew that they were looking to hire somebody else. I knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted a young family man, and I was not. I was a young family woman. And so we all prayed. Andrew, if you can mute while I finish speaking, please.
Jesus is king.
Okay, that's cute. Was that your whole message? You didn't want to have a conversation, I guess? You can go back down into the comments. So if you haven't had a prayer vigil before, it's where everybody fasts and prays for 24 hours, and you pray about something. And after, you pray, God is supposed to obviously answer that, right? And we're praying for a new youth pastor. We have put ads out everywhere. Nobody has applied. We've let churches know in the area. We've let everybody know that we're trying to hire somebody for this youth pastor position. And after the prayer vigil, there was one name. And I was like, that is so damn amazing. We all prayed. We all fasted. We did everything that God would want us to do. And he gave us a very clear, concise answer. And they didn't hire him because it didn't fit their bill. It wasn't what they were looking for. And that was one of the times I realized these people do not fucking believe what I believe. And am I stupid? That's when I started going wait a minute. Am I believing something that is ridiculous? You know what I mean? That just made me what is going on? Why am I the only one who thought that was God's answer to prayer? It was just one of many times they let me down at not being good enough believers. Okay, Andrew, I'm going to bring you back up. You're going to need to tell me your age and your religion when you come up.
I'm sorry. I'm muting my mic right now, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm not talking right now. Go ahead and tell me your age and your religion.
I'm 35 and I love Jesus.
All right. So today we're just talking about if God is useful at all. I hear a lot of excuses why he doesn't answer people's prayers, but I don't really see God doing anything without a human involved.
Exactly. You have to have a human involved that wants God's heart. And then it works.
So he's useless?
No, it depends on how you look at it and the way that you choose in life and how you walk and think and, do everything. Your rituals.
But that's not biblical.
Well, why is that not biblical?
Because Jesus said that anything you ask in his name, he would give it to you and he would do it for you so that the God might be glorified. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't do anything.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you look at it. So, like, time is a very good way to show action and that God's working in your life, wouldn't you say?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, repeat that again.
Time is a very good way to show and reveal God is working in your life. So it's God's timing that we don't really understand, right? Because God is going to give us whenever he's ready to give it to us. We can't just demand cookies when we don't even have the chips.
Why?
One of them.
Why?
Well, has it ever worked for you?
No, because he's not real.
No, I'm saying, have you ever gotten cookies?
I was a Christian for 40 years, and I was promised that where two or more are gathered in his name, there he is also. That if I ask anything in his name, he would give it to me so that his Father may be glorified. And he couldn't provide the simplest of things. Anything that was provided by me or by people like me. If there was a healing, it was a doctor. If there was somebody who needed fed, well, my hard work paid for the money to go buy the food. God didn't provide anything.
So what is it that you wanted from God so much?
All of his promises.
Which are what?
That he would take care of me like he takes care of birds. He didn't do that.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I did it. My husband did it. My children did it. My parents did it. But God didn't do anything.
But that's all a reflection of God working in your life.
No, it's not. You're just saying that to give God credit for something we did.
There is credit.
I'm not letting you give credit to God for something I did. He did not get the fuck up out of bed every day and go to work. I fucking did that. He did not do that. He's not the one who put in the hours. He's not the one who went to work when she was sick just so she could feed her child when she was a single mom after her husband died. He didn't do shit.
You have some major trauma. It's okay. God loves you still.
Oh my God. Really? Is that what you're going to say? Is that where you're going to go?
And I can feel it.
You do too.
That's okay.
I can feel it from you too. And it's okay too.
Guess
Who
what?
touched you?
We're going to be okay.
You, pumpkin?
Jesus.
Who touched you, pumpkin?
Jesus.
That's really gross. You go have
and
a
that's
good
the
day
difference between me and you is he actually touched me and you denied him.
Yeah, okay. Do you feel real special?
No, I want to let you know that he still loves you. You should go back.
How old are you?
You're making the wrong choice. How old are you? I'm old enough to put you in your place. I'm old enough to put you in your place.
You sound like a child right now.
And I love you still.
Why? You don't sound.
And he loves you more. I don't like you. I don't like you. He loves you. I love you.
This is an example of his love. Who the fuck would love from somebody like you?
You sound a little triggered. I prayed for you in Jesus' name, baby. Take those demons out of that young, beautiful woman. I promise you, you're going to be okay.
So weird.
Don't get away from the Lord. He still loves you. I promise you, he's still your first love.
Are you showing the fruit of the Spirit right now? Is that what this is?
Ma'am, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the host. Host,
hey, I'm a co-host up here with her.
You're
so
blessed. You can co-host somewhere else, ma'am. You're a blessed host. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I pray for you, and I promise you, he's got a blessing for you. Bam! Fire.
So is this the fruit of the Spirit?
It's so weird.
I am your fucking devil, ma'am. Chill out. I'm not talking to you.
What the fuck?
I'm
talking to the host.
The fruit of the Spirit that you're supposed to be showing to everyone?
Shut up. The law's fulfilled. You have no power over me, Satan. Get behind me. Host!
Really? She has no power over you?
I'm talking to you, sweet cheeks.
Fuck off, you cunt. There's the power I have over you. Sonny has more power over you. You don't have any power here, bitch.
He is not okay.
That's the full display of Christian love right there.
Well, I cussed. I don't know if he cussed, but I did.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was saying like, shut the fuck up and all that. So yeah, he was cussing. And now he's saying he's sorry in the comments. Oh, wow.
Go apologize to your Jesus. Go
He's
slob
just
on his
trying to get
knob or
back up
something.
here so that he can go off again.
No, I'm not gonna bring him back up here. He is not okay. He is not okay. Exactly. I'm gonna read some of the comments. Mother Prep says that's why Christianity should be banned. If that's the result of it, it's dangerous to society. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not letting you back up, Andrew. The fact that you think that anybody would want to worship your God after what you did, if your God was true right now, he's gonna spit you out of his mouth, vomit you. Yeah. Because that was such a disgusting display of whatever that was, okay?
Like, how is he not embarrassed after that? Like, how can you act like a literal toddler and not be embarrassed?
I don't know.
My toddler grandson is more polite and articulate than that.
Yeah, I'm holding mine right now, and he's not making a peep, so my dad doesn't throw tantrums like that either.
No, I don't care if you're embarrassed. Sit in your embarrassment. Sit with it. Go think about what you did. Go, okay, wow. She's just talking to me about how she hasn't seen God do those things. And then I completely start just insulting her co-hosts, cussing, acting foolish. And at 39 years old, you were literally acting like a middle school child. And not my child, because my child would never have acted like that in middle school, I'll tell you right now. But I just know that middle school children can act like that. By the way, I don't know, Sonny. I saw some people having some little thirsty little comments about you, Sonny. I don't know if you caught that. I saw it.
Yeah, I guess I've been getting around a little bit.
I hope it gets put over in the Bad Bible debates. Yeah, I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Oh, yep, for sure. No,
Is
Andrew,
Sunny
you're not
here?
coming back
She's
up.
hot.
Oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
The chat is adorable today, by the way. Listen, Tahir threatening to have Slay catch her hands. Like, can you imagine, Tahir? You're gonna catch these hands. You guys are funny today. Tris, good to see you.
Hi, Elizabeth. Redheaded trouble.
Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Jeffro, what's up? If you want to come up, Drummer, I'll answer your questions. I don't answer from the chat. Hello, Boise, Idaho. Good to see you. Listen, Andrew, the chat has a good point. If you want to come up, you need to send me 2 galaxies. I'll bring you back. With 2 galaxies, you can come back up. And I'm sure you could just pray to Jesus and he'll give you whatever money you need to make that happen.
Yeah, I don't even know if 2 galaxies is enough to deal with that again. Because he just wants to get back up here to throw a tantrum again.
No, I'm sure. Hey, Fat Jesus, good to see you. I just saw your name. No, I don't want hearts. Nope. Nope, I want galaxies. That's what I want. Yeah, it's true. A good troll does know when they're having an off day. They really do. Oh, don't worry. He's not going to end up sending 2 galaxies, you guys. Somebody said 5 galaxies should be fair. Hey, did I get the YouTube going? I think I did. I'm gonna go check and make sure I did. It looks like I did. Oh, I did. You can even hear me over there. Hello, YouTube. Martin, Resist, Butter. Good to see you guys. If you are over on the YouTube and you want to talk to us, you have to come over to the TikTok right now. But we're upgrading my equipment. And as we upgrade my equipment, I will eventually be able to make it so you can call in just like Joel does. You'll just use a voice Discord and join me. Chat is wild today. I love it. Oh, let me in, you succubus co-host. That's how you get up here. I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
This is so funny.
I will take that as a compliment, but thank you.
Uh-oh, hang on a second. I think I have baby news. It wasn't baby news. She just likes fucking with me. Darn it.
Another false alarm.
It wasn't false alarm. She was just telling me something cute, actually. She said she started the text with my child, and I didn't know for sure if it was going to be her baby was coming but it was about my other grandchild.
That would be quite the announcement. My child is here. My child is on the way.
Yeah. But, knowing her, I don't know what's coming. Dark Knight, if you want to come up, Cyber, I saw you sneak in here. Lathe, welcome in. You guys, we're just wanting to talk to people about whether God is useless, and we're willing to talk to anybody but Andrew. So if you are not Andrew, and you want to come up, the guest box is open. And is God useless? What does he do? Has he done something for you? Do you want to share your testimony with us? That guest box is open. Now is the time. I will play another song for you. And if you are a friendly and you want to come up and say something, say hello. You guys are always welcome to come up and say one thing. It doesn't have to be ass around here. It doesn't. We do that all the time. Drummer, if you don't want to hear the songs, go the fuck away. Because I'm not here for you, okay? I love it that people think calling somebody old is like an insult.
It's like, oh no, you didn't die.
Right?
You're still living.
Oh my God, you fucking surviving bitch. Why aren't you dead yet? It's so ridiculous. All right, let's keep the beat up a little bit. Let's go with Miss Me Without Misogyny. Oh, I turned my volume down. Have to fix that situation.
Miss me, now you gotta kiss me. You're up my sentence, call it just a thought. Say you love strong women till you get caught. You want a queen who keeps it light and sweet. But bow down, little man, and kiss my
Joel,
feet.
I saw you sneak in here. You should come up and say hi, sir.
Misguided, mistaken. And that charm, boy, I know you're faking. Me with that misogyny. You ain't the man you think you be. Me with that hypocrisy. Your fragile ego and royalty. I'm misbehaving and just being me. Miss me with that misogyny. You quote some podcast, call it intellect. But all I see is you begging for respect. You raid our bodies, dismiss our brains, then cry not all men again. Miss me with your tone, miss me with your sigh, miss me with your sweetheart. Boy, bye. just an extra baby. Miss me with that misogyny. Misogyny.
So I'm going to tell you guys something that Christian misogynistic men do, like Andrew, and he did it up here, and it's why I wrote one of the lines in the song that I just wrote that I wrote there, and that's they do this thing where they think that they are supposed to talk no matter what, like their voice is the most important thing, right? And so when he was telling Sunny to shut up, I'm talking to the host, he thought I would see a hierarchical system within that. And I would go, okay, he's talking to me. I'm the host. Shh, Sunny, shh, shh, and let him speak to me. Because they're so used to this hierarchy, and they did it to me. Like, I would be on my own show and they would tell me, shut up, you're just a side character. Or they would say to me when I was on Joyful's show, when I was the co-host, and they would tell me, shut up, you're just a side character. And I just wanted them to know, you're the side character, bitch. You're the extra, not me. I'm the one up here live. You're not. And Sunny's the actual co-host. You're not.
One time I saw in the comments you had dropped somebody, and he's like, let me back up, but I'll only come up if you stay on mute, Crystal. And it's like, what the hell? This is her show.
Right?
Like
What
the
the
nerve.
fuck are you talking about? Like, I am not going to shut up. What the fuck are you talking about? And Sunny's not going to shut the fucking... But they expect the host, and they do it with men all the time. And let me tell you something, men of the deconstruction community. I gauge what you do when they do that. If they go, tell her to be quiet, I'm trying to talk, and you tell me to be quiet, we have a problem after that. Because they're doing it so you'll side with the man instead of siding with what's right. They're hoping you'll go, oh yeah, she is talking too much. Oh yeah, she is being too loud. And yeah, I pay attention to that, because you're not really an ally if you give in every time a man tells you to shut a woman up.
Rex, I think they're so used to, probably 9 times out of 10, like a Christian man would definitely side with them. So I think they just automatically assume like any man would side with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a good test.
It is exactly what they're doing. And G Tweet, you should stop hanging around elementary school girls. There's
Really,
probably
yeah.
an
What a
order
creep.
to tell you not to do that. Okay. So quit doing that. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, stay away from the elementary schools, please.
Girls and boys have, all genders have been socialized to be completely uncomfortable with articulate, loud, outspoken women. And so until we intentionally challenge and shed that from our default assumption that there's something problematic something problematic with that, we hang on to it even into deconstruction.
We do. We do. And it took a long time for me to realize, like, when I was doing these lives, I used to shut up a lot when the men started talking, and it was a default position of mine, right? And then one day I was like, no, I'm not going to shut up. Like, as a matter of fact, like, I am not going to shut up. Like, I will do anything but shut up. And then I got so much hate because of that, by the way. Because I would be like, oh, if you keep talking, I'm going to keep talking until you shut up so I can finish what I was saying. But the problem is, when you have ADHD, sometimes by the time you get in one of those little verbal fisticuffs, you forget what the fuck you were originally trying to say. So I would be like, I'm going to keep talking. And then I would think, oh shit, what was my original point after all of this fighting for the mic? What was I
I
going to
hate when
say?
that happens. You just have to keep talking about nothing because you're not going to let them win.
Exactly.
They're
I'm
not
not
going to
going to
talk
let
over
you
you.
win. God damn you. You are not talking. I will bring up my grocery list if I have to. I don't know. I just, oh my God. People are so
G Tweet,
ridiculous.
I'd like to know your credentials to make that statement. Also, back to the original topic of if many of us are in other lives, and if the main host is male, you will rarely hear somebody tell that male host to shut up. You will hear
No.
variations of, give me a chance. Hey, why can't I have a turn? Hey, why do you keep muting me? But they will rarely say shut up to them. They will say shut up to women.
All the time. I've been told
You know,
shut up so
I
many
can't
times I
think
can't
of the
even
last
tell
time
you.
I heard somebody tell Justin, for example, to shut up, or Dark
Joel.
Knight, or Joel, or Mezzo, or name one, or Trust but Verify. Right? They don't tell them to shut up, but they will tell women to shut up.
Yep.
And G Tweet, I am waiting for your credentials.
G Tweet, I don't even think he has actual credentials to be a Christian. I think he got his baptism paper out of a cereal box personally.
And
But
G Tweet, just so you know, the doctor in front of Dr. Joe is not just decoration. So,
yes,
yeah, we'd
Joel
like to see your
does say
credentials.
shut the fuck up. Joel does say shut
Oh yeah, Joel says that a lot.
Right. What I was pointing out was guests don't say that
Yeah.
to male hosts.
No, men have very high tolerance for other men, but as soon as a woman speaks in a stern voice or has a slight emotion, then they're told they're overreacting or they just need to shut up or they're all of a sudden a bitch, or no matter what they're saying, if their tone changes, then men cannot tolerate it at all.
And that's what happened with Andrew. He was like, oh, you got triggered because I mentioned my ex-husband. Oh, you got triggered. Bitch. My ex-husband was so long ago and he's dead. It's not something I'm triggered about. I was just bringing up something that happened to me. But the fact that you think a woman can't talk without having emotion or something, give me a break. You know what? It is not women who are stomping around on TikTok because somebody put their favorite shirt in the dryer. Okay. That's not a woman doing that. Okay. It is not women who, sit there and complain because somebody didn't smile at them on the fucking trail. Okay. Those are men with tiny little egos who can't fucking handle their little fragile ego and they can't handle it. So they stomp, they have temper tantrums, they complain, they cry, they whine. It's not women doing that. It's men. And you can't handle it when we actually want to have a fucking emotion too. Because your mama's told you yours was the only emotion that mattered. I'm talking to people today who believe in a God or gods, and I want to know whether their God is useful in any way. I do not see anything useful about God. So if you want to talk about that, come on up.
And it's not exactly debates. We're just looking for a conversation.
Serious question. Why are all atheists goofies? I can't ignore that red flag. What the fuck are you talking about? You wouldn't even know an atheist if it slapped you in the fucking face. Okay? You probably talk to atheists every day and you love them and they're not requesting. You're not even in the box. If you requested it, it's not showing.
And what is a goofy? Does that just mean not conforming to society standards? And okay, yes. Sure.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
18.
Okay, and what year were you born?
2007
All right. And what year did you graduate?
to last year
Okay.
or
And
this year,
did you forget
like
when you
this summer.
graduated?
My bad. This summer, last school
That's fine. That's
year.
fine. So which God or gods do you believe in?
Okay, so I believe in Jesus. So the direction I usually like to go in debates like this is like I ask atheists like how they usually think the universe came to be. Like I just like to go that direction. I don't like going into like deep, hardcore like conversation on the Bible because I'll be honest, I don't think I'm qualified to debate like on the Bible because I haven't fully read it myself and there's a lot of things I do not understand in the Bible. So I just kind of like to go a different direction with it, if that makes sense.
Well, I understand that, but the problem I have with that is that I was a Christian for 40 years, and I find that most Christians don't read the Bible, but they go, yeah, that's what I believe. And I find it foolish. I find it foolish to believe in something that you haven't read and that you don't really fully understand.
Oh no, so I read the Bible. I do Bible studies. I just don't think I'm qualified to debate like on the Bible because there could be a lot of questions you ask me that I don't know the answer to.
So have you read the Bible from beginning to end?
No, I have not fully read the Bible.
So then
I've
you
read
just proved
Psalms.
my point, right? That people say they follow this and they don't read it and they don't know it. And that's what you're proving. We can talk about the cosmological argument. We could talk about tag. We could talk about all those things, but none of those things are the reason why people believe in a God. They are the reasons they stay believing in God. But that's not why they come to a God.
For me to be Christian, do I have to read the Bible front to back?
I think you should, because why are you believing in something if you don't know what it says?
Okay, so let's say like I said I'm Christian and I'm working on reading the Bible front to back. Am I not technically Christian until I've read it
I'm
front
not
to
saying
back?
that you're not a Christian. I'm saying you are a Christian. I just think it's foolish. There's a difference. I'm not saying you're not a Christian. I think anybody who says they're a Christian is a Christian. That's what they proclaim. That's how they define themselves. If they follow Jesus, if they believe that Jesus was the Christ, they're a Christian. Cool. But I find it foolish to go, I believe this, but I don't know what it says.
Oh, yeah, no, trust me. I'm working on reading the Bible. I've read Psalms, I've read Proverbs, I've read a little bit of Job, and then I'm working on some other stuff. Um, I like to go a different direction
That's
in
okay.
debates like this until like I think I'm qualified to debate on the Bible, if that makes sense.
So, how is God useful?
How
Because
is
I
God
think
used?
he's useless
Okay, why's that?
because he makes claims in the Bible and he doesn't do them.
Okay, gotcha. So, like I just said, I don't think I'm qualified to debate on the Bible, so I don't want to go that direction with it. Like I said,
And like I said, we can go whatever direction you want, but you got to start. I can't
Okay,
do the whole
of
conversation
course.
for you.
So, are you atheist, agnostic?
I am what's called an ig-theist with an I.
I
Means that I don't think that people can define what a God is, let alone who God is. So I see no reason to believe in a God.
Okay. How do you think the universe came into existence? And then we can just kind of work off that.
I don't believe the universe came into existence. I believe that space, time, and matter have always existed in some form and it just evolves.
So you don't think there was a beginning?
No, I do not believe there was a beginning. There is a beginning to our known universe that we have today. but there was not a beginning to all space, time, and matter. It has always existed.
Okay, so how would you explain something like, do you believe life comes from non-life? And if so, how would
I
you
believe
explain
in
that?
abiogenesis. Yes, I do believe in abiogenesis.
All right, could you go ahead and explain that for me?
No, because I'm not a biologist by any sense of the imagination, but I do know that we have the building blocks out there, that we have seen, that we are really close to being able to show how it was done. And in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter to me. I don't know if we'll ever answer that question while I'm alive or not. What I do know is we will never know where everything came from while I'm still alive. And because I'm not ever going to know the answer to that, I find no that it's just useless to even worry about it.
Okay.
And Thomas, just that's like not really the topic that we're discussing today. We want to know like how you see God useful in your life. That's kind of what we're looking for.
Well, I did
Yeah,
tell
no.
him he could go down this line of questioning for a little bit. So I'm going to give it to him
Oh,
because
okay. I missed that
I
part.
want to know like what he's, how this brings him to God.
Okay, so the way I see it, I mean, none of us knows how the universe came into existence, how, if there's like a cycle or not. So for me, I rather put my trust, faith, and belief in a God than like something else, like from something like the Big Bang Theory or whatever other things are out there
Why?
that people believe. Why do I pick God?
Why wouldn't the truth matter more than just feeling comfortable?
Why would it? Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Why wouldn't the truth matter more than you feeling comfortable about the answer?
Can you clarify that? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. If the truth is that space, time, and matter has existed for eternity and that a God didn't create it, you just said that you would rather believe that a God did it. That is just a choice you're making. I'm not making a choice. I am not convinced in a God because there's no evidence for one. I am more convinced in what science has shown me because they back up what they say with evidence. You, on the other hand, are saying, I just feel more comfortable in believing in a God. And I'm asking you, why does your comfort matter more than the truth?
Like I said, no one knows the truth on how the universe came into existence or what the cause was. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, what do I want to put my faith in? So, like I'm saying, I would want to put it in God out of all things, out of all theories.
But you haven't even studied this theory of where the universe has come from in this science side of it. And you haven't even done your studying on what God says. How did God create the universe?
How did God create the universe? Because God is a creator. And as a Christian, like, I believe he created the universe in 7 days.
Right, how? From
Because
nothing?
he's God. He can do whatever he
So
wants.
nothing came from nothing?
What? No.
So again, you don't know how either, right? So you don't know
No,
how, I don't know how. And every time that we as humans have looked for an answer to how or why, every single time that we have looked long enough and hard enough, we have found a natural answer. It's never been magical.
Excuse
It's
me
never been
one second.
miraculous.
Thomas, you gotta be on mute when she's talking because the feedback is really, really bad. I don't know if you can hear it, Crystal, but it's really bad.
sorry.
Thank you. I can. It is. So every single time that we have looked for an answer to anything, how volcanoes work, to how our genes work, how anything is, where anything came to be, every single time, the answer has been a natural answer. It's never been supernatural. It's never been a miracle. It's never been magic. And what you're saying right now is you'd rather believe in a magical God who made everything out of nothing, even though that's the claim you guys think, the atheists think, is that we think everything came from nothing. You'd rather think that than to find the actual truth. You can come off mute.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I'm just gonna try to like break this all down. I don't think nothing came from nothing. I think something did come from something, and I think God is the ultimate source, and He can do whatever He desires as a creator.
What did he make the stuff from? What did he use?
I'm saying He is God. He can do whatever He
He
wants
used
to do.
nothing, and he made nothing from nothing. And you're lying to yourself when you're saying that's not what you believe.
No, but
You
He
believe God spoke things into existence from nothing. And then you will claim that non-believers think that things came from nothing. And that's not what we think. That is the cognitive dissonance. Do you know what that means?
I'm saying, no, go ahead.
Cognitive dissonance is when your brain is kind of competing with two different thoughts that don't align. You cannot say to me that you don't believe nothing came from nothing and then tell me that a God made everything from nothing.
But I'm saying God is a creator, so He can create things into what He wants.
I'm a creator too. By the way, I write poetry, I do art, and I have to have something. I cannot go poof. There is an entire poem written right there for everybody. No, it has to come from something, whether it's my notepad, whether it's a pen and paper, and my brain, something comes from something. You're saying God took nothing and made something. And you're pretending that's not what you're saying. And that is not that's not even healthy, dude, what you're doing.
So, and I think I can just kind of flip the question back at you. Like, whatever your beliefs are, how did those come to be? Like,
I already answered this question. Do you not remember what I said?
No, you basically said that you believe the universe has always been in some way or form.
Right. It's always existed. It didn't come from anything. It's always existed in some form, and it evolved throughout time. Time, space, and matter cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed in a closed system. That is one of the laws of thermodynamics. And because of that, I believe it always existed in some form. Will I ever know exactly everything about that? No, I won't. But what I know is matter, space, and time cannot be created nor destroyed.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So, like, I mean, I'm just looking at things like around me, like design, purpose, love, emotion. Like, I am not convinced yet that all of this has always been, or there was like some natural, like, non-living natural cause. Like, I'm saying that I truly believe that, like, emotion, design, purpose, all of that, I truly believe comes from like an ultimate source, which is God. And I'm saying a creator doesn't need creations to create. A creator can create whatever he wants because he is the creator. A creator doesn't need other things.
That's just a claim you're making. Yeah, you're just making a claim. That's some kind of thing you made up in your head. Like, okay, so this God it's a thing, but it's not a thing. It's a mind, but it's not a mind. And it created with nothing, but we don't believe something came from nothing. Everything you say is a contradiction. That's not healthy.
And you keep saying design was created, I think. And like, what do you mean by design? Because if you look at many things, it looks like it's not really by design. Like, the sun giving us cancer. Or, us. Yeah. Like we see things and it looks like it comes from like evolution and not design. So what do you mean when you keep saying design?
So when I say design, like, for example, like I'm looking at this painting of Jesus on my wall. When I look at that, Like, I know that there was an intelligent mind behind that painted that, put a plan together, and created that. So that's and like design, like I look all around me, like there's snow outside right now, there's trees, there's a sky, there's colors. I would argue that that's design.
How
And
so?
that came from an intelligent designer.
But how is that design? Like, you just keep saying design, but how is that design?
Can you like clarify that? Like, what do you mean?
Well, you're calling it design.
I'll be
like,
right back, Sunny. Keep this going.
Okay.
I'll be right back, okay?
You keep saying it's designed, but like, why are you calling it designed? Like, what is making you determine that it was designed? And hello, Shadow Slaves. You can join in if you would like.
How do you see it?
I kind of have a few questions that I don't want to interrupt. Just let me know when I can.
If you're on topic, you can go right ahead.
Absolutely. What's your name? Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Infinite?
What was that? Repeat that.
Or is time infinite?
Is time infinite? I think there is a creator outside of time and matter.
Okay, well, that's kind of outside of time, space, and matter is non-existent. Right? There's no way for me to know something that's outside of space and reality. I don't think anyone can know that. So if you could just answer my question, do you think time is infinite?
No, I would say I think there was a beginning and there's going to be a end for time in this universe.
Okay. What's your justification for when it's going to end?
My what? Sorry. And can you clarify that?
So let me put it this way. When you're saying things like God can do whatever he wants, what's the grounding for that? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? You need to ground it. Like, what's the justification? What's the origin for that idea? Go ahead.
Because I think God is the ultimate source, and I think
okay. So you're
everything. So
you're thinking of these things. Okay.
So, like I said, I think like an ultimate source, a God that is creator of everything. I think he can do whatever he wants. Since he put this universe and created it, I think he can do whatever he wants with it.
So you believe in like divine command theory, basically?
Yeah, it seems like the grounding for that thought process is your mind, your opinion.
I mean, a lot of other people also have that opinion, just like you have your opinions. We all have opinions, so I don't know what you're trying to get
But
at.
I ground mine in evidence and facts. I don't ground my opinions based, and if I do, I will just tell you this is simply no grounding for it whatsoever. But what you're saying is that if I create something, then I can just unalive it if I want to. So can I do that with my children?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Can I do that with my children?
Do what? Like, can you repeat the whole question, please?
Can I unalive them and harm them just because I created them?
Yes, but why in what world would you do that?
Why would that be okay? You think that somebody who creates something automatically has agency over the sentient life? What are you talking about?
You said that because I gave, well, not, you didn't say this word for word, but you said if you gave birth to your children, that means you can alive them. Anybody can do any of that, but why would we?
I'm saying, does it give me the right, just like you said, God has the right? I'm asking about the right. Of course, I'm capable. I'm asking about the right.
I'm saying God has the right to do anything, but he would not.
And I'm asking you, do I have the right?
Ma'am, we have the right to do anything, but we have a choice between good and bad.
We don't have the right to do anything, sir.
Really?
Do you have the, no, you don't. Just because you can make bad choices doesn't mean it's your right. It is not your right to harm somebody else. It is not your right to do that, sir. I hate to tell you that, and I know you're only 18, but I need you to really think clearly about that. It is not your right, sir.
We have the freedom to do whatever we want. So
You
I'm
don't
saying,
understand what
obviously,
rights are. You don't understand what rights are.
obviously, do I have the choice to go out and kill someone if I wanted to?
That's not what I
Of
said.
course, of course, I could do
You don't
that. But
understand the
why? But
difference
why would I
between
do that?
capable and having a right to do something, sir. Yeah, you're so young. I really wish you'd stop listening to all of these misogynistic, red pill freaking incels on the internet. They're not doing your brain any good. You do not have the right to unalive something just because you created it. Once there is sentience, you don't have the right, sir.
I know I'm not saying I would want to do that or that you should do that. I'm just saying we have the free will to do whatever we want.
But she
First
wasn't
of all,
asking
you
you
don't
about the
have
free will. Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonny.
Wait, you know
Go
what?
ahead.
Can I clarify
Thank
one
you.
thing? You're
Yeah,
right
go ahead.
about
And then Sonny, you go ahead.
okay. Can I say
No,
something real quick?
yeah, go ahead, Thomas.
Okay, I was just gonna say you're right about the whole like rights thing. I'm just saying we have free will to do whatever we want.
But that wasn't my question, was it? I asked you, do I have the right? You're saying God has that right specifically because he gave us life. And I'm telling you, the fact that if a God gave us life, which you've brought no evidence to the table that that has occurred, it doesn't give him the right. It doesn't give him
Well,
the right.
well, when it comes to God, I mean, he's the creator for everything, so he also has the right to take that away. God does.
Again,
What do
no,
you
it
think
doesn't.
the right?
No, it doesn't.
What do you think it means to have the right to do something? Because I think we're maybe working with two different definitions here. Thomas, what do
I
you
think
think it
you
means
think
to have the
he's
right?
capable.
Yeah, we're not talking about capability. Do you know what we mean when we ask if he has the right to do something?
I'm so like what I'm saying is I think God has the free will to do whatever he wants.
All right. Well,
If he has the free will to do it, does that make it justifiable? Or does that make it morally good?
No, because he would not do that.
okay. So, first of all, I need you to know something. You really haven't read this. And to tell us he wouldn't do bad things is very, very ignorant. I can pick any color you want from my book here. Pick any color tab you'd like, and I'll show you something atrocious your God did, where he demands that people grape women. He demands for women to be burned alive. He demands for children to be slaughtered. He demands for G-side. Your God, you don't know him because you haven't read this book. So to say your God wouldn't tell you to do something wrong is absolutely not knowing the character of your God.
So yeah, if you have questions like that within your Bible, I'm not a qualified pastor. I would
I
say if
know
you
you're
have any
not. And I'm
questions
going
like
to drop
that,
you down, and I don't have questions because I read and studied the Bible. And you haven't. And you're very young, and you're just falling for all the stuff your pastor is telling you instead of looking at it at all on your own. We have another guest coming up. That one, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I'm 43.
All right. And are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
I am a Christian, but over the time, I don't believe in the Bible like that. I believe more in my spirituality. But I am a Christian.
Okay.
I believe in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It's just the Bible, I don't believe it. Just because of this. It's been
So
written
why
so many
do you
times by
believe in
man.
this God? Why do you believe in this God then? Why do you know it's this God, Jesus, and not a different God?
Because technically, I basically seen them. You know, I've been through many things. The one thing I went through back in 2003, I was shot. One time, the bullet went through my pelvis, in and out. It damaged so much of my body. I had to get an amputation. I had to get a Whipple dead. I had to get all this stuff dead. And while doing that, surgery and stuff like that, I was under uh, an induced coma for 2 weeks. Now, in this induced coma, you know, I see this is my opinion. I don't know about anybody. This is what I seen and what I seen. So I seen the afterlife, and the afterlife was nothing. Was nothing. It was nothing there. It was just me and my consciousness. You know, and I didn't even know how long I was in this coma, but I knew that I was there and I was conscious, but it was nothing around. But coming back, I heard, you know, people calling me and stuff like that, and I seen, like, I remember this like it's clear as day. I seen this light, and it took me back. And then ever since then, I just knew that God was real. I just knew. I thought that this is my opinion. I just
I
knew he
understand.
was real because he saved me. And it's not the first time he saved me. You know, it's been other things over the years that I went to had the same experience. Like back in 2019, my lung collapsed. Just out of nowhere, my lung collapsed. Had to go get surgery on it. And at the time I had to go get surgery, I remember being in surgery, being under again. I had the same feeling, that same place I was at back in 2003. And I just knew that God continued to watch over me, and like he's doing right now. And don't get me wrong, my
So
problems ain't worth
why are
anybody
you
else.
so special? What did you do to change the world after
Ma'am,
God brought
ma'am,
you back twice?
ma'am, did you? See,
What?
before you interrupt me, I was saying
Why are you yelling at
I'm
me?
not because you finna sit back and make this whole little thing like I'm special. You before you even hear, I was
Excuse
saying
me, I am
before you
asking you a
interrupt me,
question
and
seriously
before you
because I'm trying
interrupt
to
me.
understand you.
I'm explaining to you. I was trying to explain to
I
you
I
before
think
you
that
jumped
you
into
should
this,
understand who I
ma'am.
am, okay? I'm the host and you were talking for a very long time and I let you talk. And then I wanted to understand something about your story. So I
Ma'am.
asked a
Okay, so
question. If
again, so
you
you asked the question, but you let me finish
I
anything.
really think you need to understand who the host is of
I
this
don't, ma'am, you asked me a
show.
question. I
And
was
when I
giving
mute
you.
you, you should stay muted out of
You know
respect
what?
and let me
I'm gonna do you
finish.
about it. I
And if
don't
you
respect
can't
you for
do
that.
that, then you can go back down to the chat because I simply wanted to ask a question. And yes, I want to know what makes you so special. Many people who've had these situations where Jesus brings them back or God brings them back, they often tell me that they came back for a special reason. They had a purpose. There was something that God wanted them to do. And I was trying to talk to you about that. No, I'm not going to shut the fuck up. Oh, I'm a demon now. Oh my God.
That was such a
And you know,
caricature example of what we were talking about, I don't know how many minutes ago. Almost like it was a plant. It was that much of a caricature of the dynamic we were discussing. It was stunning in
it,
its intensity and anger on his part.
it was
How
so,
dare you stop him, Crystal?
how dare I? How dare I? I'm going to tell him that he was special. He didn't want to be special. That was wrong of me. No, I'm not bringing you back up when you treat me like that. Y'all got to be really wilding out to think that I would bring you back up after you talked to me like that and treated me like that. Maybe another day, maybe when I forget who you are in a day or two, I might forget and let you back up. But it's not going to happen today.
I completely missed that one because I was taking out the garbage, but I saw his comments, and his comments alone, why would you bring him up after that? Like, that was wild.
That was really wild. Listen to this, Thurston in chat. All atheists are liberal. Did you guys know that? And 48% of liberals report mental illness. Pew Research. Okay, Pumpkin. Okay. And you know
Well, that
how
might be
many
because many
right
conservatives
wingers?
want to. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I think that's probably because many conservatives are Christians, and Christians just want to pray away any mental illnesses. They just want to, give it to
Exactly.
God. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that could be an explanation.
right-wing Christians don't report their mental illnesses like they should. They don't go get help for them. Instead, they get pew-pews and go take it out on schools. So, think about that, okay, sir? That's what they do. Instead of getting help, they annihilate their families. That's what they do, sir. They unalive themselves or their friends. They do something in Jesus' name that is horrific. All right, let's bring up Dave. I'm not feeling the other two in the guest box right now. Hey, Dave, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, my name's Dave. I'm 54 and I'm from California. How are you doing today?
Doing well. And do you believe in a God or gods or a higher power?
I believe that they do exist, yeah.
Okay. Is God useless or the gods useless?
Depends on who you're asking.
I'm asking you, so you tell me what you think. I find them useless, but I'm asking you what you think.
Okay, so when you're judging what they're doing, what are you going off of? Your understanding or what the Bible says or what the Quran says?
I was a Christian, and so
Okay.
I was brought up as a Christian. I find this God to be absolutely useless and a piece of shit, and he's probably not even real. But so far, any of the other gods that I've been introduced to, either they've been introduced to me as they were always human, they just had like some kind of supernatural abilities, and they don't really exist anymore or do anything. Or they tell me other incredible things, like from the Quran, and that you can't prove that either. So none of it seems real to me. It seems like he's useless. When hungry people get fed, we feed them. When there's a problem, humans fix it. I don't see this God or gods doing anything.
Right, but you have to understand, like, these gods, let's just say the God of Islam and the God of the Bible, right? Both of them are offering you life after you pass away. So it has nothing to do with being on this planet. See, the creator.
That's not what the Bible says, though. The
Hold
Bible
on.
says that he's going to bless you here on earth
Where does it say that?
and in your afterlife. Many places it tells you he's going to expand your borders. He's going to provide for you. Anything you ask in Jesus' name, he will give you just so the Father can be glorified. He tells you over and over again, he's going to take care of you right here on this earth. And then he's also going to take care of you in the hereafter.
Yeah, to my knowledge, everything that he's promising you is in his heavenly kingdom.
Nope. I
So
can pull up the passages.
that'd be great because the flesh right now, he says not to hang on to the flesh because the flesh is sinful, right? So when you pass away, he takes your spirit,
Paul
your soul.
said that, not Jesus. Paul said
Well,
that.
that's in the Bible, ma'am. And Paul is one of his disciples.
Doesn't matter. You got to go by what Jesus or God said, not.
Well,
Isn't
supposedly,
the scripture in which I think it was Red Letter, right? Where Jesus said, I came here so that you would have life more abundantly. That was speaking of life in the present on earth.
No, he's talking about the abundance of life being in his kingdom. He's offering you salvation. That's his whole purpose of coming here. He sacrificed his life for your sins so that you can be saved and get everlasting life in his heavenly kingdom.
So let me contextualize my experience with Christianity, and probably speaking for many people present today. Mine is I was a Christian into my 40s. I went to seminary twice and deconstructed while there. So I know a fair bit about Christianity. I don't need you to give me Christian doctrine. If you'd like to discuss the concepts, we're here for that. But you don't need to disguise
But I can read
that
you
and
Bible
preach to us.
verses. I could read you the Bible verses. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 8. If you will only obey the Lord your God, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. Blessed shall be your barn, and blessed shall be everything you undertake. Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. No, I'm going to keep going for a minute.
Well, wait, let's just stop with the first one.
No, we're going to keep going because there's a lot.
I know,
And you said
but
they weren't in there.
hold
And
on,
there's
hold
a
on.
lot.
So when he says in the very first scripture you read, he says he's going to elevate you high above, right?
All nations and blessed shall
Right.
be your barn.
Yes.
Your
So
barn is
wait,
a
hold on.
physical fucking barn, dude. He
Hold
didn't
on.
talk about spiritual things in
Wow, lady,
Deuteronomy.
your panties are all twisted. Are you on your period right now?
What in the fuck did you just say to me?
Are
You
you
Here
fucking
comes
piece of
misogyny.
shit,
are you on your
misogynistic
period?
piece of
You
shit.
should go do dishes.
Fuck off, you fucking little piece of shit misogynist. God damn, what is wrong with these men?
Every single
Men, are you
time. Every
fucking
time.
okay? We'll try again. Wish us luck. That one must not be loading. Red, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 37-year-old female here.
Okay.
And hey, Dave, it sounds like you're the one that's on the rag right now. So maybe you should go locate a box of Tampax and get to working on it, okay? Anyways, definition of delusion is a belief that is not rooted within reality, as in you cannot prove it readily within reality, as in we both can agree that currently you are wearing like a rose gold shade of headphones. We all can agree, right? We all see it. It's there.
Yep.
Yep, right. So the definition of delusion, again, is a belief that is held that cannot readily be proven within reality. Therefore, all spirituality and all religion is delusional. Okay. And actually, shared delusion is cited in psychology as the least common form of delusional thinking, when in reality, it's actually the most common. Example given.
Wow.
Religion. Am I right or am I wrong here?
Wow. You know, that I never thought about that. Dr. Joe, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? I don't know. She might have stepped away. No, but that makes sense.
I work in mental health. So, and I won't go.
That makes so much sense.
Yes. And
I didn't ever think about that.
it's just funny that we cite it as being the least common form of delusion, when in fact it's actually the most common form of delusion by how many billions and billions, whether it's Islam, Christianity, even if you want to go on over into Buddhism, Hinduism, it's all, again, that's why we call it faith. You are literally, it's trust me, bro. That's it. Trust me, bro.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's just like it's accepted by everyone. So that's why the people probably doing these studies, you know, they take part in that shared delusion. So of course they're not going to see it.
Yeah. So again, so for you Christians that are sitting here in the live and you're getting your panties up in a wad, Dave or whatever the fuck your name is, nobody cares. Anyways, also just in case for reference, and someone also decided to start finger pointing at narcissists, people diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So I'm diagnosed myself with the cluster B personality disorder. And you've obviously never met someone that is an actual narcissist diagnosed. And also, just randomly pointing the finger at someone and labeling them with a mental health diagnosis. Number one, you're low functioning in your intelligence and it's showing. You're immature. That's another. And then wanting to say that atheists are immature. No, you literally said the most ignorant, like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And you're one of those like middle-aged white women that likes to point fingers and be like, my ex was a narcissist. My ex is a narcissist. They're all narcissists. I'm surrounded by narcissists everywhere. Hell. Like, it's annoying. You're annoying. Like, literally, no one wants to listen to you. Just gab, 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 gab. Like, go sit in a corner, read a book. Like, hush. Stop it. That's all I got to say to that. And also, Dave.
Thank you, Red.
Yeah, Dave, go get those Tampax. Get to working. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye, Red. Have a good day. Nice to meet you, and come up anytime. Jim, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 20.
All right. And do you believe in a God or gods or higher power?
I do believe in a God.
Which
But
God
it
is
depends
that?
what you mean by when you say that, you know.
What does it mean to you?
Well, to believe in something means to place it at the center of your life, right? And for me, I believe that there is a causation, an intelligent mind behind reality. And I try my best to put it at the center of my life. Sometimes I fail, as with all things. But if you really believe something, you know, you'll stake your life on it.
Is it the God of the Bible?
The Christian God, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So my question today is God useless? And the reason I'm asking this question, there's actually so many reasons. Here's another one of the reasons I'm asking the question is a lot of times I will ask believers, like, why isn't God doing anything about the millions of people who starve to death? That process takes so goddamn long. Like, people have no idea how long it takes for a body to literally starve to death, and the millions of people who do it every year. It's beyond belief. And for me, it's easy to explain when I think of everything as a natural cause and effect. Billionaires have too much money and the poor do not have enough supplies, enough food, enough things. That all makes sense. When you put God into the picture, suddenly he just seems useless because he's doing nothing about it. He made lots of promises and he's done nothing about it. And when people do get fed, it's by other people. And Christians will literally say to me when I say, what is God doing? They say, what are you doing? And so I do stuff. I actually am on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization. This holiday season, we helped feed many people who needed help after their SNAP benefits were taken away by our government. We helped get presents to kids. And so I do something, but what is God doing? He seems useless. If I don't do something, nothing gets done.
Yeah. First of all, I appreciate your rejection of the false premise that, you know, what is God doing? And they ask, what are you doing? You know, it's a deflection. It's a poor way to argue. And I appreciate that. I also appreciate the work you do. Working for a nonprofit is not easy, especially being on the board of directors. I happen to work for a nonprofit, not on the board of directors, but, you know, as an employee, it's difficult work. I appreciate all that you do. And I appreciate the humanistic, the care for other people, something that gets bogged down in a lot of these discussions. We get, you know, I'm okay with the heated debate, but a lot of times we just lose the human aspect. So I want to start by saying that I appreciate that. My real problem with the question, is God useless, is that it's kind of ontologically out of order, right? And so when I say that, you know, it's not an attack on you personally, but the logic behind the question, right? If we presuppose, just for a moment, just for the purpose of the hypothetical, that God is real, it's not the utility. You know, you can't make a value judgment by human metrics, right? If utility exists, it is through God, if God is real, you know? So you can't say, is God
I
useless?
disagree that I
You have
can't
to admit that
do
all
it through
usefulness and all
human
utility
metrics.
comes through God.
I disagree that we can't use human metrics. And here's why I disagree with that. I'm going to push back on that. First of all, that's all we have. We're fucking humans. Our metrics are human. That's all we have. Nobody has special metrics. You can't prove them to me. They don't exist. Okay. So we, of course, use our human metrics. And if we're made in God's image and he gave us the knowledge of good and evil according to the book, then we have everything we need to be able to make decisions. And so for you to say I can't use human metrics to decide whether this God is useful or not is absolutely ridiculous. But on top of that, he made me promises in this book and he doesn't live up to them. He doesn't live up to any of them, not even close, not even just a little bit. And so I can use his own metrics and say, you still fail. You're still not doing the things you said you do.
Well, right. Okay. What I say by we can't use human metrics, right, is you can't physically measure logic, you know, and yet logic exists. We assume logic exists. We operate as if it does. And so we can come to an agreement that logic exists. You can't measure the utility of logic by human metrics. And so when I say you can't really apply the human metric to God, is you can't ask what physical measurable quantity defines God's utility. You know, if we're going to take the assumption of a God, he is the ground of all being, right? And so it's whether he's fulfilling a psychological role or a theological role. You can't just say because he doesn't fulfill XYZ physical roles that he is useless, because according to the Christian faith, number one, he fulfills the role of the creator, right? That is automatic utility. He has created things, right? So
I
in the
disagree.
context
You
of the
can't
Christian
prove
faith,
anything you can't prove. You can't claim utility for him. You can't prove he did that. You have no proof
well, yes,
that he
I'm
created
saying if
anything.
God exists, you can't
Right.
prove
But
that he created
I want to
anything. No.
know what he's doing right now, because his promises to me say, remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. Christians are some of the poorest people in the world. Honor the Lord with your wealth. Then your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will be bursting with wine. There are so many people who give so much money to the church and they end up destitute when they die. Wealth and riches are in their houses and their righteousness endures forever. We're not seeing this well. We're seeing it for evil billionaires, though. That's where we're seeing it. And that goes a lot more in line with, believing in a secular worldview. For they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. That's bodily healing. We don't see that. For surely I know the plans I have for you, plans for welfare and not harm. I used to say that all the time as a Christian. While I was in the most horrific times of my life, I couldn't understand why God had harmed me when he promised not to. His promises are empty.
Why do you think it was God?
They're meaningless.
I mean, with the priest, of course.
Because
we're
I was a
arguing in the
Christian.
hypothetical, right?
I was a Christian. That's why I believed it.
Yes, but why was God the subject of your harm, right? Because it's very clear within Scripture that humans are guilty and to blame, right? Humans are the reason the world is sad and messed up. A lot of people like to say that it's Satan, but really, if you look at the origin story,
I say it's
the
God,
sort of mythological
according to
Adam
the
and
story.
Eve, right? God leaves the Garden of Eden because he was rejected by humanity. The sin is passed down, and we live in a broken, messed up world because God was rejected.
Not quite.
So if I were to take a knife and stick
God
myself,
didn't leave that garden. God kicked humans out of the garden. God didn't leave that garden. According to y'all, God is everywhere. He can't leave.
God is metaphysically separate. God is in heaven, right? The Holy Spirit, we would say, is present on earth, but again, it's metaphysical, beyond physical.
God says he was on earth. God said that he was on earth and he spoke face to face with Moses like a friend.
Well, no. Remember, whenever Moses speaks to God, God says, "You cannot see me; you'll die."
Well, then God's a liar,
Jesus, his
and
voice,
that's
he
a
was omnipresent.
contradiction. I'm going to read you the verse right now. I need the Bible verse where God said that he spoke to Moses and Moses face to face like a friend. I think he was talking to Miriam and Aaron at the time he said it.
Hi, Crystal.
Numbers 12. Hi, Nick. How are you? Numbers 12:6-8. And he said, hear my words. Hear my words. This is God telling you. Listen up. Lock in. Okay? When there are prophets among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams. Not so with my servant Moses. He is entrusted with all my house. With him I speak face to face, clearly, not in riddles. And he beholds the form of the Lord. And the Lord right there is Yahweh, because they changed the word to the Lord when they translate it out of reverence. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So he's telling you right there, Moses saw him face to face.
Yeah, well, as an Anglican, we say that's a Christophany, an appearance of Christ in the Old Testament.
Well, you can make up whatever you want. It doesn't change.
Well, I don't claim to be a biblical expert. I don't claim to be I don't claim to be a biblical expert by any means. I'm still a very new Christian. I just wanted to address your question, which is in itself self-defeating. Is God useless? If God exists, all utility flows through him.
No, that's just a claim. You haven't proven that. All you've said is God can't be useless because he is usefulness in and of itself. While he does nothing.
No, usefulness
There's
is a reflection
nothing
of
he
him.
does. No, it isn't. You cannot prove that. It could be a reflectionness of fucking Satan for all we know. You cannot prove that.
Yes,
You're just
but your
making
question
claim on
is
top of
God.
claim.
I didn't interrupt you, thank you. Your question, is God useless, presupposes the existence of God, right? And so if we are going to operate in a framework in which God exists, we must then take that seriously. If God is the ontological ground of all being, he is not
No.
a person in the sky.
I don't have to
Reality
give you
is
that.
a reflection of him.
I don't have to give
According,
you that. I'm asking you to show me his usefulness, and you're just making claims.
You're asking
Can
for
you not?
physical evidence of the metaphysical is what you're doing, and it's a cop-out.
Oh, you're getting
so
mad now, Jim? Are you getting mad now?
according to
I'm
the
not
Old
upset. We're
Testament,
in a nice. I'm sorry, Nick. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to address the claim that kind of trying to goad me. I'm not upset.
No, you
We're
sound
in a
like you
passionate
got really
debate, and I am
upset.
passionate the same way that you are.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you like that, though, Jim. So listen, all you've done is make claims that he is useful. You've shown nothing that he is useful. And metaphysical things, like even when I was a believer, I would have gave you a story because I would have thought that I had seen his usefulness and I would have given you my testimony. You've shown
Well, that's an
nothing.
anecdote.
You're
I can't
just
prove an
keeping
anecdote to you.
claim after claim. No, you can't prove an anecdote to me. But all I'm saying is
Well, you're
you're
asking for
just
an anecdote.
claiming. You said you didn't interrupt me, and you've done it several times, and you talked down to me as if
I'm
I
correcting
should. You're
whenever you
doing
make
it
a
again.
presupposition about my argument.
And Jim, you're going to be muted, and you're going to stay muted while I talk. I'm the host, okay? The question is God useless? You've come up and made a claim that he can't be useless. If I am asking the question, he can't be useless because the minute I invoke God, it makes him useful. That's not true. There's many gods, and you would not agree that every god was useful. So for you to say that is absolutely a cop-out. Now, you can claim that I'm coping or copying out or anything, but it is actually you because you haven't shown anything that shows that God is useful. Nick, go ahead. You wanted to say something.
so Jim, you said you're a new Christian. Oh, hold on. I'll invite to unmute.
About a year, yes.
Okay, so why would you sign a soul contract? And I have a reason for this question. Why would you sign a soul contract without reading the fine print? The fine print being the entirety of the Bible.
I read the entirety of the Bible
Okay,
between August the 18th of 2024 and January the 1st of 2025.
okay, so did you understand the differences between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2? The priestly source versus Yahweh's source.
Could you expand on that? Sorry, I can't quote it from memory. Like I said, I don't claim to be
Yeah,
biblical
so
expert.
the first creation story written was actually Genesis 2, and that was the Yahweh source. The first, the Genesis 1, sorry, I'm trying to say first gospel for some stupid reason. Genesis 1 was written hundreds of years later, and that was known as the priestly source. Do you know why there was a difference between the two?
What's the difference?
It was two different gods. So Genesis 1 tells a story of creation based off of both Canaanite mythos
You guys keep
and
talking. I'm going to get a drink.
sure, and Mesopotamian mythos. The Canaanite part comes where it's actually El. And he's actually in co-creation with his children. It also pulls from the Enuma Elish when Tiamat makes love with her husband. It's the whole part of breathing over the waters, and they create the other gods. Because the thing is, the early Israeli belief system was not monotheistic. And
Yeah, the early Israeli belief system was a polytheistic one. Yeah,
Yeah.
not Israeli, the Proto-Canaanite, really.
So the thing is, to make this claim that Yahweh is everything, the great creator, is false, even according to the Old Testament. He was only originally worshipped by a small select few individuals, and he was eventually adopted into the Canaanite pantheon. He didn't create anything other than the garden. It was El and his wife and their sons that were in co-creation with one another. So this is kind of what I mean. You make the claim that, God is, the Almighty, the everything, the blah 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 blah, but the Old Testament disagrees with you. And this is why I ask Christians, why would you sign a soul contract without reading the fine print?
Okay, I want to get in. I want to understand what the claim is that you're making. So, is your claim that there are, number one, distinctions between some prior form of the creation story and the creation story we have today?
Yes, huge distinctions. You can actually, when you analyze Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 and do a comparison, you can see that there is a huge difference in even the character of the God.
Okay, and then what would your claim be beyond that, right? So number one, there are distinctions between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. And then what after that?
And then it goes on into...
I think he wants to know, what's your point of pointing that out, Nick? Is what
because when we're making a claim that this God is the totality, the Almighty, the great creator of the cosmos, but when you actually research the Old Testament and see where these stories came from and stuff, you quickly see that he wasn't. He was just one God amongst 70 sons that had a specific people. Even in the Bible, it states that El had apportioned the people to the number of the gods, the number of his sons, and Yahweh got his own portion, which was the line of Jacob. So he's not the Almighty. He's not the everything. This is just a story of one specific God fighting with his siblings. You can read it as you read through the Old Testament. You read how he's fighting all of his siblings for territory and turf. You start to see him absorb the characteristics of the other gods, mainly Baal, the storm deity, right? So you can't make the claim that he is the everything when the Old Testament disagrees with you.
Okay. First of all, I'm not going to claim that you are incorrect in this, because if there is more that hyper-specific evidence for the ancient text, I haven't seen it. So I'm not going to, I don't want to jump in here and tell you you're absolutely wrong. I'm just going to say I haven't seen the evidence for that hyper-specific of a claim about early Genesis. Now, I do concede the evidence suggests that within Proto-Canaanite culture, the earliest evidence we have does suggest that Yahweh, the God that would later become the Abrahamic God, was one of many gods worshipped. But that lines up with the story of Abraham living in Ur and being taken from Mesopotamia to what is today Israel-Palestine, with contact from this one of many gods, right? So I'm not gonna get in the weeds. I don't know. Clearly, you know something I don't.
Yeah, it's the academic perspective. When you look at it academically and research it on an academic level and the history of the evolution of this religion, that's where you find out all of this stuff.
Well, yeah, but we're also operating. Sorry, go ahead. I thought you were finished.
You can also read the Enuma Elish, which is the Babylonian creation story. You can read the Ugaritic texts, where you get a lot of the Canaanite creation story, and you see that lines up with Genesis 1.
Yeah. Well, to operate with this degree of certainty for cultures this ancient, because this is greater than 4,000 or 5,000 years prior to what we understand today as really in-depth historians. To speak with that degree of certainty, I'm not so sure about, but I do grant leeway there, and there probably is more to it than I know about the early scripture. But to address your point, when we talk about an omniscient God, right, regardless of what the earliest texts say, regardless of other cultures near them, their myth, right? I don't want to get in on whether Christianity is true or not, but philosophically, if there is a God that is omniscient, he is the ontological ground of all being, right? All powerful, all knowing.
And if he exists, it is nowhere found in the Bible.
What do you mean?
Because even in the Old Testament, it shows many a time that God is not all-knowing. For example,
that's a Christian teaching.
Yeah, like for example, he has to go down in Sodom and Gomorrah and see if what people were saying was true. It was the same with the Tower of Babel.
Well, yeah,
he was not all-knowing or all-seeing.
It's the same thing as if your kid's got a bunch of cookie on his face and you go, "Who ate the cookies?"
No, that's not what happened.
That's not
what happened. That's not what happens in the story. He tells them clearly, I have been told this. I have to go down now and check for myself. It's not the same. That's not analogous. No. And it's not the first time. Like, he didn't know that he couldn't beat steel chariots. He didn't know this. Okay.
That's a misreading of the text.
Know,
I've seen
no,
this
it's
one
not.
before.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And he didn't know.
I'm not. No, I'm done.
Wasn't
I'm
going
done.
To
This is wildly
Jim,
disrespectful.
do you know that you talk like this to me, but you don't talk like this to Nick the entire time? You are
because Nick was respectful.
You're very rude to me. I was very respectful. I didn't say anything out of line just now. Nothing out of pocket. I pointed out things to you. You want to dismiss them, and then you got mad at me that I wouldn't let you, and I'm just not going to put up with it.
That was wild.
It's just, I don't know.
I mean, he didn't even know that David had taken Bathsheba until later. Like, he's not all-knowing. He never was. Like, I don't, this is such a Christian concept, and this is why I asked him from the start, why do you sign a soul contract without reading the fine print?
Exactly. I don't understand it. It's just wild to me. Let me do a quick commercial for myself. You guys, thank you for 70,000, nearly 70,000 likes. I know it's a lot to ask, but I finish up in a half hour. So could we try to get to 100,000? That would be a lot, but I think we could do it. Also, I do have a gift goal. If we meet the gift goal, I'll stay alive for another hour. I don't even know if that's what you want today with the quality of characters I've had this morning. But if you do, just help me reach the gift goal. We'll stay live for another hour. Every time that you support this show financially, you're helping me upgrade my equipment so that I can stream more places, go live more often, and bring you some amazing subscriber-only content coming up in the new year. Everything's happening in the new year. I am still on baby watch, you all. So there's not much I can do about anything till the new year. In the new year, you will be hearing my new podcast called Anti-Sermons. And that is where I will be reading all the sermons that I read here, but I'm going to do it nice and crisp and clear and make it so you guys could just listen to that wherever you listen to your podcast. And in the new year, I will be thank you so much. Go wife your ass. Go wife your ass is what that guy just said. My ass has been wifed for 30 years. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, I will be releasing my album on Spotify. Thank you guys so much. It is called Ex Parte, and we listen to some of the music here every day. It has my hit songs, I tell you. Water's Edge, Abelina Ballerina, Consent, Ex Parte, Miss Me with That Misogyny is a bonus track on the album. No Kings, No Gods. I don't know if I remembered every one of them, but that's most of them. God, thank you, Shadow. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. It looks like we will. He is making it rain. Thank you so much.
It's like, I want to go another hour. Let's go.
I think I still have a guest in the box, but I don't know if he's still here. I'll bring him up just if he is still here, but he might not be here because I made him wait a long time. It was G Tweet. I made him wait in the box that whole time. He left eventually, I guess. I didn't know if I could handle G Tweet today. I was getting all the misogynists.
I think someone sent a Night Star, but it wasn't part of the gift goal or something. But we only need 2 more, I think.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It looks like we just need 2 more, and then I'll be live for another hour. So you have, like 20 minutes. If you guys can drop 2 more, I'll be live for another hour.
Can you wait till Friday?
I'll be live again on Friday.
Katie is Friday. I can finish it on Friday.
Anyway, so today's been kind of different, huh? It's been crazy. I'll tell you what, if we don't get the other 2, I'll still stay live for another half hour since Shadow made it rain. Okay, so no matter what, I'll stay live an extra half hour. So we got about an hour left of the show minimum. And if we get those other 2 in, I'll stay live for the extra other half hour as well. Oh man, today was just so freaking wild so far. I mean, it was funny. Like, I came in this morning not really feeling it, to be honest with you. I was telling everybody how doing that sermon yesterday, my little auntie sermon, and we are calling them AUNTIE instead of ANTI because I think that's cute. I'm your auntie and I'm doing little sermons for you, okay? And I was talking about that, and then I don't know why, but that angered so many men that I talked about my miscarriage. It just like fucking pissed them off first thing in the morning that I fucking had feelings about my fucking miscarriage. And it's just crazy to me. Thank you, Silly Goose.
How dare you have feelings, Crystal? How dare you? What the fuck?
Just crazy.
What is?
And then yesterday or something, we were talking about how in the church as women, when you're abused, they tell you to go back to your abusers, just like they did to Hagar in with Sarah, right? So we were discussing that very fucking specific thing. And somebody in the comments is all, men get abused too. Oh my God. Oh my God. We didn't center this around a man for a minute, you guys. We fucking talked about something that happened to women. And the man in the chat, his heart broke and it was so sad. I felt so bad for him.
Oh,
poor lonely man.
The world's smallest violin playing a song.
Oh, that's so cool, Hammy. My husband wants to set up a studio for me too. And we're thinking about where to do. Okay. There is a place that I was doing all this. It's on the other side of the house, though. And I think that I am going through something where I want, like, when you were a teen or something, was your room your retreat place? Did anybody else have that feeling their room was their safe space?
Yeah, I'm 39 and it's still my safe space.
I think that's why I like to stream from here. It's my safe space. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mason, how are you today? Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, hello, 19.
All right. And do you believe in a god or gods?
Yes.
Which god would that be?
Deist God.
Which one?
The Abrahamic.
Okay, so you're a Christian?
Roman Catholic.
Oh, okay. So that's a Christian denomination,
Yeah, I'm Catholic,
right?
though.
Okay. Oh, okay. Why is that so distinct for you? Why does that matter before Christianity?
Theology. and the concept that Christ founded Rome and the papacy.
Okay. So a lot of times I hear from Christians that God can do miraculous things, but then they can't really tell me anything he can do. They end up telling me, actually asking me, what is it that I do? And I think that's kind of a cop out, because if your God's all powerful, all loving, all knowing, he should be doing something. He should be fucking doing the miracles he promised us. And I just don't see it. So is God useless?
No, with this whole explanation, I feel like you're saying he doesn't explain anything, doesn't cause anything, he doesn't ground anything, but if he is to exist, or they, she, whatever you want to use the pronouns or whatever, then they are objective. Anything that coincides with God, since he is the objective, he creates
What does he
objectivity.
do? Give me a practical fucking thing that he's actually done.
He is the unmoved mover that starts the contingency
No,
of the
that's
universe.
not practical. Show me a person he's fed. Show me somebody he's healed. Show me something he's done that you could prove he did it, and not just give me more empty claims.
I mean, he
Yeah,
gave
he
Linda that
started.
new car.
Yeah, he started the contingency of the universe, and that entirely explains motion and everything. He is the unmoved mover, and that whole explanation.
That's just a
defining-
claim. That's just a presupposition.
No, not at all, because there's grounding
Yes,
for
it
that
is.
claim.
It's absolutely a presupposition. That's exactly
No,
what that is.
that's begging the question. You're stating something that you have to prove.
No, that's what you're doing, sir. That is literally what you're doing. You're just saying
You're
it.
asking
You're just
for
saying it.
you're asking for non-metaphysical things. You're asking for something that is in the observable, in the physical realm, which would entirely contradict this whole theology and philosophy.
It doesn't contradict his word, sir. He
No.
tells you over
So
and over
what-
again.
what do you define-
He tells you,
what do you define as useless?
over and over again that he will feed you, that he will fill your storehouses, that he will be everything here to you on earth, that you will live in abundance here on earth. And then Paul came along and told you to suffer and enjoy it, and you all went, okay, let's do that. Instead of going, what did God promise me?
What's the context of the Hebrew poetry, though, that's written in? Most of it, when it says, like, the birth of from a woman is impure, I think that's used in the sense that's taken out of context, when it just all means that we are, dead to sin. I just feel
I
like
haven't
you're
given you a
taking this up-
verse yet, so you can't say that I took anything out of context because I haven't given you a verse. You're actually using an argument that is fallacious. Context. That is a fallacious argument, because you all say it when nobody gave you anything to cry context about. I never said a verse.
So when you were talking about Paul and whatnot, was that not from the Bible?
You brought up something Paul said. I said that Paul said that.
Oh, so when you talk about God, is that also not from the Bible, which it has 66 or 73
I didn't
books?
claim
depending
a
on-
verse. You claimed that I used something out of context. I can't use something out of context
did.
that I didn't use in the first
Why
place.
were
I
you
did
talking-
not.
When you talk
What
about
are
the
you talking-
scriptures,
I'm going to let
when you
Hammy talk
reference-
to you for a minute, because sometimes it helps if a guy talks. It's like you guys hear it better. Go ahead, Hammy. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm just about to grab me something to eat, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be up here. But
Okay.
yeah. So you were talking about an uncaused cause, or the first mover, or something like that, Mason.
yeah, I've talked to you before, Hammy. How's it going?
Oh, hey, how's it going? So the uncaused cause. Why is that such a big like? What is that? How does that make sense?
Well, first of all, in the explanation, like I mentioned, for that to be in existence, that would obviously not make God useless, since he is a uncaused cause, which is the starter
Right.
of the domino effect. That makes sense because the infinite regression can merely not
what's the
explain
problem?
itself.
What's the problem with an infinite regression?
Because you cannot have a cause that goes on for infinity. You can't have anything that starts it. We observe the world in the sense that things go from potential to being actualized. You cannot just have something that goes from potential to
So-
actualize itself.
Are you familiar with physics at all?
Yeah, I'm using metaphysical claims too.
Oh, awesome. So you're familiar with physics. So you know about the first law of thermodynamics, right?
No, I'm not very smart on the aspect of that now.
Oh, not a problem. I can tell you what it is word for word, which is energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just changes forms within a closed or isolated system.
It's not energy is not proven to be energy is not proven. It's proven to be finite. Actually, it's not been proven to be within
it's
its own.
not.
It operates
It's actually,
by laws around it.
No, literally by the first law of thermodynamics. Not thermodynamics. Well, yeah, no, it is the first law of thermodynamics. It says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just changes forms.
Yes, energy doesn't actualize itself, though. It operates based off restrictions around it. It doesn't operate on itself. It goes from potential to being actualized just as everything else in continuous motion.
Well, no, if it can't be created and it can't be destroyed.
I'm sorry to tell you.
How am I wrong if something cannot be created nor destroyed?
Mason, you're just
Hammy,
going,
so
you're
here's
wrong. Dude, you're not addressing what Hammy's saying. Excuse me, I did talk now.
No,
you're not addressing what Hammy's saying. You're just blowing it off like as if he didn't just say something. You're like, oh, well, you're wrong, dude. No, he's not wrong. That is literally.
Are you referring to the energy that's like on the Earth?
You can unmute.
Mason.
Send him an invite.
Yeah, okay. So energy is it's conserved. It doesn't come from nothing, right?
So, well, it just always exists.
It's bounded by a system that has finite energy to it.
What system is that?
Reality itself. It's
so
contingent.
if energy, so we all know that what ends up happening is like whenever energy is within a closed or isolated system, it just changes forms. It doesn't go away. It doesn't dissipate. It just stays there and just continuously changes forms. That's what the first law of thermodynamics says. That's what we observe when it comes to energy. We don't observe it like depleting. We don't just it becomes homeostasis, right? Because like as time goes on, this energy, since we have nothing coming into the system, we have nothing leaving the system, it just stays in one spot, and it just kind of eventually, in the very beginning of it, it's going to be very volatile, and it's like appears to be in abundance, and then as time goes on, it becomes homeostasis, static, and it seems as if it's depleting, but it's not. It's still there. It's still existing.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, the thing is like space, time, and age, like the Big Bang. It's fine.
The Big Bang. No, the Big Bang is not a beginning. This is actually. Well, you're implying that it is.
How? No, I just said the Big Bang is finite.
The Big Bang would be finite, meaning that because of the Big Bang, that means there's a beginning.
Yeah. So I mean. We observe.
Is that not what you think?
Well, yeah, I think that, but the thing is,
cool.
It's
well, the
within
thing is,
the realm of finite. Anything that we have observed or taken caution of has been proven to be finite, unless.
Well, Mason, the thing is this Big Bang. The Big Bang amongst modern people relevant in the field, scientists relevant in the field, they do not say or agree that the Big Bang was the beginning.
I didn't say it was.
So they leave room for the universe being cyclical. They leave room for other models, such as possibly a beginning at some point, due to subatomic particles like popping in and out of existence, which we observe that to happen. They leave room for a bunch of different options. There's even one theory about how the initial quote unquote beginning of the mass expansion was just from a black hole, sucking in everything, and then our quote unquote Big Bang was the white hole spewing it all out. making
just
it a never-ending cycle.
what's that? That doesn't. Well, first of all, you're explaining things that are also, I mean, finite too. You can't just like throw in the realm of energy, and then I've kind of taken the realm that it's fine. Are you saying energy is not finite anymore?
Energy, no one has ever said energy is finite.
It's not
So
finite.
it's within the realm of infinity.
Yeah, energy. If energy cannot be created,
Energy's not.
and it
Energy's
cannot be
not.
destroyed.
You want to do a
Listen,
quick Google search for me? And just like
no, would you like to do the Google search?
no, okay, sure. I mean, I can
Because
look up
look up.
is energy proven to be infinity?
What do you mean to be infinity? To
It's
Yeah, what
proven to
does
be
that
finite.
mean?
eternal?
No, it decays.
It's
Energy
eternal.
can be no, energy can be measured and exists within time. It's not something that exists and operates on its own.
It's so is eternal not a temporal language?
No, it's not.
How is
Not for this
eternal?
context. Not for
Eternal
this
meaning that
conversation.
that something exists. It means it exists within time. Eternal is a temporal word.
In space and time, reality of what we observe is in constant change and motion. It's contingent.
That does not address what I just said. The term
How not?
eternal is a reference of time. So it's temporal
Yes,
language.
I agree with you. And the problem is space and time reality of what we observe is finite. Nothing goes from being potential to actualize on its own.
The thing is what we observe is not even half of what is actually there, right? So like we have what we
That
call the
contradicts
universe.
PSR. No, you're going to contradict
it
PSR.
doesn't, because
then.
what we have is is the observable universe, which is what we can actually see, and then outside of that, it's still expanding. So it is expanding at a rate that we cannot keep up with to be able to view.
So
Observable
before we
universe
go
is
any
about
further,
observation.
but excuse me, guys, just for a minute. Okay, bye, Sunny. Have a good day. Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. I love you. And just so Drummer knows, Sunny brings a lot to my show, and she is one of my co-hosts, and she's always welcome. Just because she doesn't interrupt and act like an ass doesn't mean she doesn't bring substance to the show, just so you know that. But before we keep going down this line, I just don't understand how presupposing a God proves that he's useful. To presuppose him in the first place does nothing for this conversation. It showed me practically where this God has been useful. What has he done? Why are people starving to death by the millions? What is he doing? What about all the promises he made in the Bible to say that he would take care of us? That's what I want to know about. Not whether you think that he was the creator God because you think that's the only way that anything could have come into existence. You and I, Mason, never going to get that answer before we unalive. We do have certain answers. We know that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is eternal. You don't know that because you haven't studied thermodynamics. But that is what thermodynamics says. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It is eternal. And none of that conversation gets us any closer to how that God is not useless.
Mm-hmm. And like, even if
Drummer, you're now muted because you're just such a little cunt.
I gave him a
take
1
it.
minute mute, I guess that didn't work. Timeouts aren't for everybody, I guess.
I know I won't be bringing you up
even
so you could drop down.
so I am someone who believes in a deist type of God. What it is, we don't actually know. But even like backing off of what Crystal's asking, even if there was the uncaused cause God, you can't prove that it was yours. And this is what I was talking to the last guest about, because the Old Testament says otherwise.
That's true.
So, I mean, if there is an uncaused cause, well, it's not this God.
I just want to point out that an infinite regress is only an issue whenever you assume that something's created.
And I don't know why people think that an infinite regress isn't possible, because it's just so simple. Go back negative amount of numbers, Mason, and tell me when you get to the end.
I can tell you this: the conservative of energy implies the total amount of energy in the universe is finite with a simple Google search. So,
Okay, so that's not what me and Crystal asked. What we're asking is, can you prove that this uncaused cause is your God? Which I know you can't, because the Old Testament says otherwise. However, your God specifically, can you prove that he's not useless?
yes. So the unmoved mover cause. I'm not necessarily asking for the Arabic, sorry, I'm dyslexic. Is within that realm. I'm just proving the aspect of a God. But if God were to exist, or a uncaused cause, that being by definition just cannot be useless, because it would explain, it would have a cause, and it would ground everything.
Okay, but so then the uncaused cause would not, in fact, be the God of the Bible then?
Well, in the Summa Theologica, when Thomas Aquinas explains, I mean,
I
the
don't care.
definitions of what.
No. Hold on. I don't give a shit about your Philbro buddies or the people you Philbro with. What I care about is the actual text itself. Now, I know Philbros are actually scared of the Bible. I get it. I get it. Okay, but what I'm talking about is the actual text. Now, the actual text says, right, and this is as per Jesus, anything you ask in my name, I will do to glorify the Father. How many Christians do we have asking in Jesus' name for, let's do something major, not something stupid, okay? Like a new car. Let's go, little Anne is 12 years old and is being raped by her stepfather, okay? Repeatedly, night after night after night. And she prays and prays and prays to Jesus, and she has more than the faith of a mustard seed, but nothing happens. Does that make Jesus a liar?
Okay, so we can use that extreme version if you want to, but
I like to use the extreme versions because I think Christians praying for stupid shit like a vehicle, or that, it's, whatever, I think that's useless, and that's selfish prayers. What I care about is prayers that actually would matter. So yes, I'm going to use an extremist example.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the context, the way the Hebrew is written, and the way the language is written, in my name, more observes of a completion, request, and a mission. And prayer in general is not request in that sense, even though that's what the language means. It's more of understanding a deeper relationship with God. To assume that prayer can change is to assume that God can change.
Anything you ask in my name, I will do to glorify the Father.
Wait, Nick, we have to really sit with what he just said. He is basically saying prayer doesn't actually work, because if it did work, that meant that God changes. And so he's actually agreeing with many atheists right now. Prayer doesn't work. It's shite. Don't do it anymore. It doesn't do a damn thing. So that's basically what he's saying. But I want to go back to something he said earlier, because I'm tired of him jumping in to say this one thing that is absolutely incorrect. Is energy finite? Let me clarify for you what he's Googling and what it really says. Yes, in the sense of quantity. Okay, that means there is a finite amount of energy within the universe. Okay, it cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. And that is what we've been saying all along, sir. So please understand what words mean and quit changing the definitions. It drives me
Finite.
crazy.
Yeah, finite in this instance isn't talking about that a time reference. Finite is talking about quantity, the
Thank
amount
you.
of energy. The amount of the energy in the system remains the same, but it can't be created nor destroyed, which means that if the great majority of relevant scientists say that the Big Bang is not the beginning of the universe or the beginning of time, then that means it is eternal.
So am I responding to the energy, or am I responding, because I just had two topics.
First respond to Nick, and then you can respond to the energy.
Okay, so the language.
Actually, hold on. Before you respond, have you actually read the Bible?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
read
then
the full
you know
thing
what?
because I haven't read.
You know what?
I read the
I
66.
No.
The,
If you haven't
Protestant
actually
one or
read
the
the Bible,
Catholic?
then how can you argue for your God?
Because I haven't read
How
the
can you
full
argue
73 within the canon.
what verse she said means? You sat there and
Literally.
said it didn't mean what she said, and you haven't even read the Bible, sir?
No, sir. I mean, ma'am, I haven't read the full canon of the Roman of the 73
where's
books.
the Catholic
Which
priest
one?
when you need
Which
him?
kind did you read? Did you read the Ethiopian Bible? Which one did you read?
No, so what you're referring to, and I assume the Bible that you're reading, which we have the same.
Why are
books,
you
but
playing
have
games with
66
what the word Bible means? Why are you playing games with that? I know there's a fucking Catholic Bible and I know there's a Protestant Bible.
Yeah.
Which one did you read? Because you're acting like you read one but not the other. Just be clear.
Well, okay, yeah. So I have read the Protestant version. I have read the Protestant canon. I haven't read the full 73 canon.
So you read the whole Protestant Bible.
So you're Catholic,
Yeah,
but you
throughout
read
my-
the Protestant Bible. That makes a
Yeah, I
lot of
was-
sense.
This is
That makes
really
so
Yeah, I
weird.
was. I
that
was a
makes
convert.
amazing amount of sense that you as a Catholic would read the Protestant
So,
Bible and not the
I want to
Catholic Bible.
clarify
Well, they're both
a
the same
lie he
canon.
told. I
No,
want to
it's
clarify
not.
a lie he told. I want to clarify a lie he told. John 14, 13, 14. I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If in my name you ask me for anything, I will do it. And the Greek here is, and please excuse my Greek, I don't speak Greek. Hoti on ite esti en to onomati mo. Okay, and it means to request or petition. And you fucking said that's not what it means.
No, I did.
And
I
I
actually
can
said the
tell
Greek-
you're
I
a
actually said
liar.
the Greek-
You aren't a Catholic. And do
no.
you know how I know you're not a Catholic? Because there is a difference between the Catholic Bible and the Protestant Bible.
I said
there
And
was.
that the Catholic Bible has more books. It's got the Apocrypha. So I just caught you in a freaking lie, my guy. If you were a Catholic, you would know that. Don't give me there's
Why
no
would you
difference
read the
between
Protestant
two.
Bible?
Okay, so
Why would
can I
you read
finish,
the
please?
Protestant
I-
Bible? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
So
go ahead.
the reason when I said I haven't read the full Roman canon is because I haven't read the rest of the books in the canon. I wasn't raised a Catholic. I am a convert to Catholicism, which is why
Okay.
which is why my
That's fair.
life.
And when did you
only
convert?
read the 60. I've only read the 66 books.
When did you
I
convert?
I converted April 19th of 2025 during the Easter Vigil.
Okay, and before we go any further, what I want to say is the reason why we got all weirded with you is because nobody sits there and does what you just did, by the way. I've talked to Catholics, I've talked to Protestants, I've talked to converts. And when I say, have you read the Bible, nobody tries to qualify what the fuck I mean by that. They don't go, well, I've read the Protestant, but I haven't read the Catholic, but I've read the Catholic, but I haven't. They go, yes, I've read the Catholic Bible, or yes, I've read the Protestant Bible, but nobody tries to qualify it. And what you were doing made it seem like, oh, well, I'll just pretend like I don't really know what they mean by Bible when I respond to this simple question, have you ever read the Bible? It's weird,
Well,
dude.
the word Bible just means like numerous.
Oh my God!
books.
See, you're
The Bible
gonna be
itself.
pedantic
So
about
that-
the word
the-
Bible. You're gonna
Yep.
be pedantic about the word
No, the-
Bible, dude. Really, that's what I'm talking about. It's very hard to have a conversation with somebody who goes, "Oh, the word Bible, it could mean this." We know what we're talking about when we use that term in this conversation.
Okay, I apologize. I just
Define
wanted to
Bible.
confirm which can't. What was up? Who said? Somebody tell me. Somebody asked me something.
Define Bible.
Yes, numerous books is the origin of. I forgot what word,
Right.
well, what language the word
We
Bible
know that,
comes
right?
from, but it means numerous books. Yes, ma'am.
Right. We know that. We know that. But we also knew that what we were talking about in this conversation, we were asking you if you read the Bible because you were claiming context and saying at the same time, basically that you haven't really read the Bible. And then you came back and said, well, you had read the Bible, but not that Bible. And we were like, what do you mean not that Bible? We haven't even said which Bible. We just said the Bible. And then you start playing weird word games with the Catholic Bible and the Protestant Bible and stuff. It was just ridiculous, sir. It was just totally to avoid answering the question. You cannot claim context if you don't know the context. You can't claim that this means something that doesn't mean. It does mean that you can ask for a very specific thing and God will give it to you and it will be done to glorify him through the Son. And that was an empty promise because you cannot do that, sir. And you guys can massage that text any way you want to smooth it over for yourself so that you're okay with somebody making you empty promises. But I refuse to do that. I am not going to go, oh, okay, well, let's pretend that doesn't really mean what it says so I'll feel better about the fact that my mother still died.
Well, I mean, you're reading it in the full context of the English language when that wasn't how it was portrayed as.
I'm reading it in the closest translation to the Greek, the NRSVUE.
Yeah, absolutely, but you're still reading it in the English language that portrays.
No shit, Sherlock, but I have
but
the Greek right here because I fucking looked up the Greek, sir.
Yeah, but to ask to yeah, what's I?
So how much Greek do you
I'm-
speak, Mason?
I'm just.
I don't know much Greek. No.
Okay,
I'm
so
just-
then
I know
stop
the-
appealing to translation then.
Yeah, I'm
I
just.
can appeal it to translation. 'cause
No,
that's what
if
we
you
do.
don't know Greek, you can't appeal to translation.
It still says what I said it said, even in the Greek. Go ahead, Hammy.
Well, I was just
So,
going
I
to
mean,
say
what-
that whenever it comes to the NRSVUE, that's the one that most scholars and like people going through seminary read through.
Yeah,
Like this
so
it's attested to be the most accurate to the original language.
But I mean, you're taking it in the context of like sola scriptura.
No,
which is
I'm taking
entirely
it
wrong.
into context of the fact that they've taken the original Hebrew and the original Greek and translated it to English.
Yes, but the definition she's giving, like in my name, she's trying to make it sound like once you ask in my name, that request will be granted, which is a very
It does
loose
say
term.
will.
Not
It's-
be.
It does say that.
Why would
Okay,
it mean
but-
anything differently?
Because
It
does
would mean
different.
something
To ask-
differently because otherwise he would have to admit that Jesus was a liar. That's why it means differently.
Do
If-
it. I will do it is how the verse ends. I will
Yes.
do it. It's not I might do it. It's not in my own terms. It's not if you have enough faith. It's not if you say 20 Hail Marys because Jesus didn't believe in all of that Catholic bullshit, by the way. It isn't in any of that. It is if you ask in my name, I will do it. And I'm going to do it for a very specific reason. And that reason is so that my Father can be glorified through me. People will know about my God because of me. It's all going to come to light. All you have to do is ask, and I will make miracle after miracle happen, and people will believe because of these miracles, and nothing happens.
If I were to tell you, Mason,
Can I?
to go to this particular shop that's in Galveston, right? And tell you go to this particular shop and reference my name to them, like tell them my name, and by invoking my name, you will get whatever it is that you want from there, free of charge. Is that not like? Is this not kind of like the same thing here?
Yeah, but I mean, so if I were to do that, I would say, hey, I want 50 bags of Coca-Cola in his name.
Right.
Would he
Yeah.
offer that? Would
Yeah.
you offer that?
If I sat there and
So in
told,
the
if I told you, because I told you flat out, go to this particular store, tell them that you want XYZ in my name, and they'll give it to you.
So, but like in that prom, you're referencing something. First of all, you're referencing something that would contradict the Christ character of what Jesus Christ in himself would represent.
How would that contradict the Christ character?
Every okay.
Like
Here's
when
if you go
well,
if
Mason,
you go.
the problem is
How do I get interrupted here?
Well, I'm sorry, but I want to make sure that we're kind of like on the same page here, right? Because from my understanding, this particular verse is Jesus's words, right? And Jesus's words tend to not mash well with Paul's words about Jesus, because Jesus never once claimed to be God. He never once claimed to be anything. As a matter of fact, whenever he is being tried and Pilate is asking him questions and says, you're the one, the Messiah, the one they call the King of the Jews. Are you not? Are you not the Messiah? He's like, that's what they say. Like he's never once claimed to be these things. And so whenever as a matter of fact, there's a bunch of different verses where he sits there and tells people that, through, my, like, this is my God, my Father, our Father, blah, 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 blah. So whenever he's over here saying
so did I
that,
please, like, so the conversation's now drifting towards what that verse means, and now we're drifting towards the concept of is Jesus Christ God? This conversation's been completely drifted. Come on, man. We're talking about energy
Mason,
and finite. Then we're talking about this.
But the thing is whenever it comes
I haven't led anything.
Well, whenever it comes to this particular thing, is that you're saying that this contradicts the Christ character.
Yes,
Christ was a
even
miracle.
the majority scholarly consensus.
Hold on, Christ was a miracle worker, was he not?
Yeah.
Did he not perform miracles? So when he says, anything you ask in my name I will do to glorify the Father, that does line up with the Christ figure. That does line up with his character.
If I were to go and say, Christ, I want to murder 55 individuals in your name, that's not going to obviously be offered.
No, that's not the same.
That wasn't
telling
that
Jesus.
wasn't what we brought up. Wait.
What the fuck?
That wasn't even the example that we brought up, and you dodged the example we brought up. The problem is that you're having to do a lot of backbends for this verse. You're doing all the heavy lifting, and your Jesus is not doing anything. Okay, your Jesus made a promise, and he can't live up to it.
She's
I am
insulting
not begging any question. I am not begging any question. Okay, you are doing all the heavy lifting here. This verse says what it says, and it's not only the only promise. There are promises after promises that Jesus just does not fulfill. He doesn't fulfill the messianic prophecies. God does not fulfill the promises he makes. They just don't. And I don't see anything your God's doing in this world right now that humans aren't the ones actually doing it. All healing, all feeding of the homeless, all clothing of the homeless. Everybody who gets something in life, it's from other humans. God's doing nothing.
And there's a huge difference in somebody walking up to Jesus and being like, hey, I'm going to unalive these people in your name. Okay, that's not what that passage is about, so I don't even know why you said that. Okay, and a little
things that glorify the
Father. Things that glorify the Father. Like, did you miss that part?
Yeah, absolutely.
So would it not glorify God to stop a sadistic rapist from doing heinous things to a 10-year-old? Would that not glorify God?
Okay, so that goes in the whole other aspect of
do not say free will.
Nick, let him talk. Nick, let him talk.
Why do I?
I'm letting you talk. I told her to be quiet. Now don't go off on that tangent. Go ahead.
So, with the whole concept of prayer, like I mentioned, it has always been widely believed in Christian theology that prayer, in the sense, is always to be in deeper relationship. Even St. Augustine said that. It's never been. If I were to do a prayer and it were to change God's request, that contradicts God being. If God could change something with it not being his will, then it contradicts God. Something within my realm, I cannot change it. Because his will.
Oh, so he's lying
So,
throughout the Bible when he tells to you to come to him with prayer. He's
No,
lying.
absolutely not.
so
Yes, he
No,
is.
because
You're
prayer's
doing
always
this
been.
again.
hold on. If we can't
Are we
do
supposed to go to
anything
God
that
with
goes
our
against,
prayers so that he can help us?
if we're not supposed to go, like, if we can't go to him in something that's
Well,
in his will,
you're
like if it's in his will, then he won't. And you say something that goes against that will, he's not going to do it.
well. Here's
So
you're
then, what's the
making
point of prayer?
you're
Okay,
making
pause
so
for one
the whole
second. We're
point
going to go to the
the whole
Bible. Pause for just a second. Pause for just a second. We're going to go to the Bible because I'm tired of these claims you're making with no biblical references because you really haven't read the Bible. You were lying about that. And that's why you were dancing around which Bible you had or hadn't read. Matthew 7 through 11 will talks to you about prayer. It talks to you about the response too. It says, ask and it will be given you. Search and you will find it. Knock and the door will open. Psalms 50:15 says, call on me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you and I shall glorify you. That is God saying, I'm going to do something for you. Are any among you suffering? They should pray. That's James 5:13 through 16. Matthew 6 and 8. Your Father knows what you need before you ask him. So he knows, but he still wants you to ask, okay? Isaiah 46:10. My purpose shall stand and I will fulfill my intention. He is already going to fix you here. And even Job, through everything he went to God with prayer. You cannot tell me that your free will overrides prayer. And so God does not give a fuck about free will in the first place in this Bible. And that's why Nick was trying to interrupt you. And Nick, I'll let you take over the free will conversation if you want to. But this Bible never talks to you about free will. That, again, is a Christian concept that is not biblical.
No, yeah.
That's
So
like comes
absolutely,
from fourth
the whole
century. The
yeah. So
concept of free will didn't come until around the 4th century. It was a philosophical way of thinking. There is no free will in the Bible. What we have in the Bible is predestination and things according to God's will. There is no such thing as free will, not even on a biological level. Do we have free will? Fight, flight, and freeze response is like the number one example how free will does not exist, because fight, flight, or freeze goes against a person's free will to choose what they're going to do in that millisecond. Again, we have things like schizophrenia. Where's the person's free will to stop hallucinating? The free will does not exist on every level. We have choice. We don't have freedom of choice, but we have choice. But there is no such thing, and has never been such a thing as free will. It's a 4th century concoction.
okay, so within that whole context of what you're reading, there has never been a claim or belief that God himself will change his will for an aspect of what man
That's a lie.
wants. You're implying.
That's a
You're
lie.
implying.
That's a lie.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
not biblical.
God
God
said
actually
he regretted
changes his
making
mind
man.
many times.
Every scholarly consensus, every church consensus, that's always how it's been. The whole theology of it, you're taking something, you're misrepresenting it.
Mason.
No, absolutely not.
Mason, when Moses came down with the tablets the first time
Give
around,
me the Bible verse.
and he breaks the tablets. What does God say he's going to do to the people? Do you remember?
You should know this. It's in the Protestant Bible.
Mason, are you there? Mason, do you remember what God said he was going to do to the people whenever Moses had broken the first tablets that were supposed to go into the ark?
Mason, are you with us? Okay, well, I do want to say something since he's not talking. I'm not really sure, but to say that God never changed his mind or acted after somebody came to him, I think that first of all, whether Mason responds or not, I'll ask everybody on the panel: would you agree that prayer is communicating with God?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if Moses was communicating with God, he prayed, right? Whether it was face to face or not, it's considered prayer. It's communication with God.
Yes.
Okay, so then Exodus 32, 9 through 14, it says, the Lord said to Moses, I have seen this people, how stiff-necked they are. Now, let me alone so that my wrath may burn not against them and I may consume them. But Moses implored the Lord, his God, and said, oh, Lord, why does your wrath burn hot against your people? And the Lord changed his mind about the disaster that he had planned to bring on his people. So I would run too if I were you, Mason. I would run.
I would also like to bring up Genesis 18. This is the Sodom and Gomorrah story of when Abraham is talking to God and God wants to destroy everybody. And it will start at 26. And the Lord said, if I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will forgive the whole place for their sake. Abraham answered, let me take it upon myself to speak, my Lord. I am who am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. Again he spoke to him, suppose 40 are found there. He answered, for the sake of 40, I will not do it. Then he said, oh, do not let my Lord be angry if I speak. Suppose 30 are found there. He answered, I will not do it if I find 30. He's constantly changing his will because Abraham is putting him to the test.
He went all the way down to 1. He went all the way down to 1, though, in the Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, there was like, look, Lord, what if I only find 1? He's like, hey, look, if you find 1, shit, I won't do it.
But then he lied about that too, because Lot supposedly was a righteous man and he was living there. But then they were like, no, take your family and run. Like,
and then we could talk about Hezekiah too, because in Hezekiah in 2 Kings 20, 1 through 6, God says, set your house in order or you shall die. You shall not recover. And Hezekiah prayed. And before Isaiah had left the middle court, the word of the Lord came back. I have heard your prayer. I will add 15 years to your life. What the fuck is he talking about that God never intervenes in the Bible when people ask him to?
Never.
I mean, sometimes he sits there, and this goes with the whole free will argument too. Is like whenever people are like, "Oh, well, we have free will." It's like, where the fuck was Jonah's free will? God sat there and said, "Jonah, I want you to go here." He said, "No, I'm not doing that." So God's like, "Bet, here's a big ass fish. He's gonna swallow you." So he did that. Then sat there and rowed him over to the land that was the closest by it, spit him out there, and said, "Hey, fucking go." Yep. He's like, fuck, damn, all right, bet.
Jonah got mad. Oh, you could go, Shadow. I'll let you go. Go ahead. You haven't said much, Shadow.
No, it's all good. I just want to point out, God didn't do anything for this conversation. It was Nick that was, doing things. It was Hammy that was bringing up physics. And Crystal, you were looking up the translations. I saw that God did nothing. God didn't even provide one of his followers Wi-Fi today. Everybody knows that if you call churches, God's not going to provide baby formula. So, I mean, nope. I would say that really falls in line with your topic today.
I think it does. I really do. He's been pretty useless today for sure. But back to Nineveh, for some reason, I had also had Nineveh on, but I was thinking about it because God says 40 days more and Nineveh shall be overthrown, and then the people repent. And that's what actually pisses Jonah off, is that God is like, okay, now I'm not going to destroy them. And Jonah was pissed about that. He
Jonah's
was
like,
like,
oh,
no, you should
come
have
on!
fucked them up. They were
It's one of those things where he's
assholes.
like, it's one of those things where it's like, Jonah, go here. Nah. It's like, all right, you
Yeah.
get swallowed by a fish, spit out there, and he's like, Jonah, go there. It's like, all right, fine. He's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. And Jonah's like, oh, come on!
Right?
I see Jim Carrey, when he
Yeah.
spits out his drink. What movie is that from? Oh, Liar, Liar.
Liar.
Liar, Liar, yep.
Hey, Loopy, how are you today?
Good. I wanted a couple of things I wanted to say real quick to the conversation that had already been going on is free will. Just what about Pharaoh? I'm going to bend Pharaoh's will and make him not change.
Right.
Go. And he changed Pharaoh's mind.
Well, actually, Loopy, the thing is God already knew that Pharaoh was going to harden his own heart. So God went ahead and did it anyways, okay?
Well, and I love there's a page somewhere on the net. There's a web page called Jesus Lied. I think it's what it's called. If you look it up on Google, that's where you'll find it. But it has
They
the
worship
listing.
other gods too. I want to point that out.
I was going to say it has the listing of the 10 times. Or not 9 times. I think it was in the Bible that God promises things for prayer. There's 9 different verses like the ones you were reading.
We don't even have to go to prayer when it comes to Jesus lying, because I mean, like he sat there and told his apostles, he goes, "Some of you will not taste death whenever the Son of Man comes in the glory of his kingdom." He's sitting there saying, at the second coming, there's gonna be people who were alive in that little area they were in, that he was talking to his apostles. Some of his apostles were not going to unalive before the second coming. So either Jesus lied, or there are over 2,000-year-old men walking around here just like, hey, what's up? I've been, it's one of God's
my
followers.
Understanding, I had a girl. Sorry. I had a girlfriend who was Jewish, and she said that there's a thing among certain Jews that there's the wandering Jew who wanders the land and he's still alive today. And that's why Jesus' stuff didn't have to come true. And it's like the group of Jews that believe in Jesus. Believe
the
that there's this
Messianic
wandering
Jews, who are
right.
not really Jewish people.
No, they're not Jewish.
But they believe they believe that there is this wandering Jew who wanders the land forever and never dies, and that it was a curse that he lives forever. But because of that, he was present with Jesus, and that's why Jesus' stuff doesn't have to come true.
Supernatural did it
when
better
Jesus
whenever...
did. Wait, and one thing I will say is Jesus also says generation, and the Greek word for generation is used. This generation will not pass, is what he says, before all of this happens. And he's lying. It's obviously lying.
Look, Supernatural did it better whenever they had Cain walking around the earth forever.
Yes.
My favorite lie Jesus ever told those was when he did a Hannah Montana with his disciples, and he was like, hey guys, like, I'm not going to go to the big thing tonight because, like, I'm just not ready. Okay, you guys go on without me. Have fun. Bye. And then he Hannah Montana and, changed his outfit so nobody would know who he was. And then he went to the thing anyway. And
Jesus?
Nobody knew he was there. Yeah, did you know Jesus did that?
Look, he put on a fake mustache, and they said, "What's your name?"
Montana.
He put on a fake mustache. They said, "What's your name?" And he was like, "It's G's not."
G's not it.
No, G's me, because instead of G's us, it's G's me. I'm G's me.
One thing I can't understand at all is the whole bit where the Roman soldiers were going to get him from the Garden of Gethsemane, they needed Judas to show them who he was. Now, this man was supposedly known all over the place in that area. The Roman soldiers were all over the place. He would have seen him at the temple flipping tables and trying to whip people. Apparently this man was well known and well
5,000
seen.
alone,
Right?
The freaking Sermon on the Mount.
Exactly, but they needed Judas to show them who he was because they had no idea what he looked like, supposedly.
Yeah,
Like,
so this
the
really
fuck?
famous dude is going around disturbing shit. Yeah, can you point him out to us real quick?
That would be like, the police need to arrest Johnny Depp, but needs a super fan to show them where he is because they have no idea what he looks like. Pardon? No. What? They would have seen him.
My favorite thing is that they will talk about how like awesome Jesus was and that the crowds couldn't, resist clamoring for him, right? Like he is some, rock star that was walking around. And then they
But
will
Isaiah
go
53.
read Isaiah 53 and they will say he was rejected by everybody. Which one is it, sweetie?
We didn't look upon him with any kind of thing. Really?
Really? It's crazy. Oh my
And
goodness.
then
Hey, you
they
guys
start.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, and then they start going off, that same line of thinking that, the Jewish people had him crucified. It's like, actually, only the Pharisees actually hated him. Everybody
it's one
else
of those-
was supposedly following him. So where do you get that from?
It's always this, well, not really. That's not how that worked. It's one of the funniest things that I always love to point out. It's like, so whenever it comes to Pontius Pilate, like, we know he existed because we have very few things that are written about him that are correspondence from, some major Caesar of the time to him. We even have the Pilate stone that has like his likeness on there and it says Pilate. And so, like, we have these things that point to the fact that that Pilate was a real person. However, when we look at the Pilate in the letters from the Caesar to him, and we look at the Pilate from the Bible, we get two totally different characters. Because the Pilate in the Caesar letters, like, he is known as an agitator amongst the Jewish people. Like, so much that one of the letters we have, one of the only letters we have of the Caesar, like, communicating with him, he's like, hey, knock that shit off. Stop it. Now. And so then we have Jesus over here, or we have Pilate over here when it comes to Jesus, and he's like, the Jewish people are getting into a row, like, no, we want you to crucify Jesus of Nazareth. And he's like, well, I can't disturb the people here. That would cause a riot. He would send people in. He would send Roman soldiers in, dressed in regular, everyday garb, to start riots. But all of a sudden, for this one narrative, oh, no, that would cause a riot. I can't do that. No, let's not do that. And then later on, way after these events took place, like, or supposedly way after these events took place, he ends up getting kicked off of being the prefect of Judea because of the same fucking shit of constantly causing the Jewish people to riot. And it's like, so for this one little blurb, he all of a sudden, like, oh no, I can't do that. No. Like, what?
Shadow wanted to say something. Shadow, what did you want to add?
Yeah, listen, I'm not sure if you can hear me okay, but I gotta go. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the gifts. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Like, hey, Crystal, it's always a pleasure to like be on your panel. Like, it's an honor and a privilege to like, be just like in your community, in your space. You know, like thank you for having me. I love your rose gold, like your the headphones. I'm a little jelly, I'm not gonna lie. I want to get like the Kraken kitty ones. I want to get the kitty ear ones, honestly. But anyways, Nick, Hammy, and our new guest, Loopy, like thank you, W panel. W host. Listen, I'm out.
W
I'm out.
Shadow.
Thanks for having me.
W Shadow. Make sure you guys follow Shadow, and also if you like adventure role playing game stuff, he does adventure lives that are so good. You gotta go listen to him. I love him. Thank you, Shadow, for being here.
You guys,
if you ever
wonder-
doing D&D, I'll definitely join up.
I think they're doing a Western thing right now.
Yeah,
I think they're
we
still
should.
in the Western
Somebody.
thing.
Hey,
One of our
this
dungeon
Texan
masters should do a
accent.
one shot.
Look, this Texan accent can definitely do a Western thing.
You guys
Well,
ever
y'all
wonder?
know I can do one. Y'all have heard me talk as the deaconess many times now.
You guys ever wonder if maybe there is a God, but he is just so sick and tired of fucking Christians that he doesn't have the spoons anymore? So he's all like, I'm going to let the atheists and the pagans deal with them because I'm...
No, this is what it is. This is what it is. We are a big game of D&D, and God is just keep rolling nat ones.
Nat ones, literally.
I am really, really tired of what I'm rolling then. And why did I set my character up like this? I couldn't have thought of a better character. One time my daughter-in-law said, you know, sometimes my life is really good. She does have a really good life, and she's worked really hard. Let me tell you, she's a doctor. She got a perfect score on her SATs. She went to Harvard, graduated early, went to Columbia Med. So this wasn't like she had everything handed to her. She's worked really hard, but she's like, my life is just really, really good. And then I think, what if this is like all in my imagination and I'm just imagining all this? And I said, bitch, you couldn't have imagined me looking better than this. This is what you came up with for me. You better not be imagining this. You should have imagined me looking hotter than this. What is wrong with you?
Oh,
Anyway.
that's like those people who say that we decide how our lives are going to go before we even come to Earth and are born. It's like, what hell would I have chosen this life? Like, no,
All right, so
no.
like I'm not over here imagining like myself like looking down on this planet and like, all right, so you're gonna be born in Texas, where it gets really, really hot, and you're gonna get used to the heat. Don't worry about that. But whenever the cold hits you, you turn into the biggest baby, and then on top of that, you're going to be born in more of a conservative area, but later on in life, you're going to be very, very liberal. So, you know, we're going to do all that for you. Oh, and by the way, this place is also going to be known as what they're going to refer to as the Bible Belt. But you're not going to be a Bible believer when you get older. So that's going to be fun. Oh, and by the way, if you're thinking about, well, hell, I'll just move to a place that's more, friendly for me. Guess what? You're also poor. Have fun. Thank you. Bye.
I don't know how the hell I would have chosen to live in a frozen, barren wasteland with a bunch of rednecks and living my life out with PTSD. There's no way. No way.
Yeah, I would not have chosen this particular life, but I will say that even with anything and everything I've been through, and I've been through some shit, I love my husband and I love my kids and I love my granddaughter. And if I have to change something and any of that would change, I would never change it.
Yeah,
But
somebody
I didn't
asked
have to
me.
change that.
Somebody asked me recently if you could go back to any time in your life and pick up from there, any time, all the way back to being a child or whatever. I said, until my son was born, I would have gone back to childhood. But now that my son was born, I cannot go back to even one day before he was born. I have to make sure that kid was everything to me. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought about that. I thought
Is it
about
with
that.
the same knowledge you have, like currently going back then?
Yeah, going back and keeping the knowledge you have. But the thing is, like, to have a kid, you can't get that same sperm and that same egg to meet that day. Most likely, if you went back to your childhood, you need to be there at the right place at the right time.
If I go, okay, so I go back in time, right? With the knowledge I have now, I changed my life completely. All I have to do is go search down my ex-husband and have giggity goo with him on May 5th of 2008, and I will have my son back. See, I did the math on this. I did the math on this. I could get my kid back. I just have to make sure I'm giggity gooing with my ex on that specific day.
No, but wait, there's a problem with that. And let me, because I've thought about this one. Okay, so let's say you go back.
These are the deep conversations you get with this high quality show. Go ahead.
You didn't go with your husband, so your husband has done many, 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 many different things, and probably had sex many, many other times with other people, or not as many times, or whatever. And a different set of sperm will be coming out that day.
You might end up with
You won't have your baby. You will have a baby, but not that baby.
Well, okay, let's be honest here, though, because
I have to say one thing, Nick, real quick. With no, I mean, if I cannot go back in time, I gotta mute you, Loopy, because you have echo. I cannot go back in time with the knowledge that I have now and ever fuck my first husband again. You're telling me I would have to save my son? Fuck. That is bigger. That is a bigger conundrum than any other hypothetical anybody's ever given me. What? Like, what?
I have to unmute for 1 second just to say that made me laugh so hard.
So my biggest thing here is the fact that, like, I would like, if they gave me the option to, I'd never do it. And the only reason being is because having the mind of a 35-year-old and say a 5-year-old or 6-year-old or 7-year-old, like, it's going to be, I already at this point in my life, I've gotten to the point where I say fuck way too much. And going back to being a 5-year-old, I'm going to be like, I'm going to wake up and I'll look at my body and be like, what the fuck is this? And then my parents are going to be like, where did you learn this language? And I'd be like, I'm a fucking 35. What do you mean? Oh, fuck. No, I'm not. And it's like, there's no, I'm good.
And then you get to your teenage years and you're in high school and you're like, okay, I might be in a teenage body, but I am not legally allowed to date any of you.
Right?
Like the problem is that
it's like, look. It's like, look, you are 13, 14, right? I am like, now at this point, it'd be like, technically, let's see here, if I went back
you'd
to
be
5,
in like your 40s.
I'd be like 40. I'm like mentally 40 right now, y'all. Like this feels weird. No, thank you. They're like, if somebody even understood what the fuck I'm talking about, if they weren't weirded out by that conversation, but they actually believed me that I was a 35-year-old, went back in time, they'd be like,
we gotta be careful. People might clip this, and we might sound like we're saying really horrible shit, you guys.
Right.
They're gonna be like, did you hear what Hammy said and Nick said?
Well, this one here is going to be clippable because Deconstruction did, like, that's it. 5-year-old and needing a cigarette. Yep.
Well,
that's
DC,
me.
I was just thinking that, like, could you imagine? I go back in time to 10-year-old me. I wake up, I'm like, oh wow, it worked. Walk into the kitchen, grab my mom's pack of smokes, light one up, grab a coffee, sit down, be like, Mom, we need to talk. Like, could you imagine the look on my mom's face seeing her 10-year-old doing that?
So, one of the funniest things, one of the things about that is that my mom passed away like 2 years ago, and so seeing her back, like I would sit there and like could tell her so many things and have so many conversations with her. But I mean, I spent every day with her before she passed, so like it's not like something that was like a big regret for me, right? I saw her every day. I was with her every day. But I still, like, would spend even more time, because I didn't spend as much time as a kid with her. I would spend more time talking with her whenever I'm a kid. But at the same time, like, it'd be like, so Mom, I'm actually 35. And my mom's going to be like, oh, because I did have a huge imagination back whenever I was a kid too. It'd be like, oh, you and your imagination's like, no, this is not imagination. I'd have to sit there and be like, okay, look, in the year 2012, we're going to have a black president. And she's going to be like, what? I'd be like, you'll see when I'm 12 now, we're going to have a black president. And then it's going to happen. Like, I'll sit there and say, oh, yeah, and this time, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And then finally, maybe she'll believe me.
See, all of my cousins were kind of like back to back to back to back. So all I have to do is like list all of the cousins off, tell them approximately when they're going to be born and what their names are. And that it'll get proven right away that I am back from the future. And then I'm going to proceed to give my mother parenting advice.
Yeah, I never want to do this thing that you guys are talking about. This is just not something I want to do. I don't want to go back in time with the knowledge that I have now. No desire to do that whatsoever. And
my mom didn't listen to me whenever I was younger. She's not going to listen to older me in my younger body.
No, my mom didn't listen to shit anyway. And I tried to talk to her a lot when she was alive. So me trying to talk to her more isn't going to help. She's just going to push me away more. So that's not going to fucking happen.
So my mom,
and I don't want my ex.
Yeah, my mom had this boyfriend. Whenever she first started dating him, she asked me, "What do I think of him?" I was like, "I don't like him. Don't date him. Don't be with him at all." She married the guy. And then it was like, and then she eventually, like, they end up splitting, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you did the exact opposite of what I said. You didn't just date him, like you went all the way.
There's a reason why I say I go back to when I was 10, because if I could go back to when I was 10 with the knowledge I have now, I could change the entirety of my life for the better and the lives of my siblings. I could actually change it so none of us would come out traumatized. So that's why, like, there is a turning point in my life, and it was when I was 10. And if in some miraculous way there was a possibility of being able to do that, I would jump on that ship faster than anyone, because for me, it's not just about me, it's about my siblings too. And I know that I could change in that moment the outcome and have a much healthier impact. And then I also would have never gone to church. That's neither here nor there.
Nick, here we are bringing the stream down. We got.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry.
we're going to bring
jokes.
it up right now. I am going to play a little music. We were going to play this earlier, but we got interrupted with guests, which was fine because that's what we're here for, right? But we're going to play ex parte for you guys now. We're going to go back to the Garden of Eden, and we're in a courtroom, and we're going to talk about what really went down in the Garden of Eden, and then we're going to address the fact that women were not invited to Mount Sinai when the covenant was laid out before us. So,
So
that
progressive.
is my song. Thank you. That is my song, Ex Parte, and here you go. This one's for the ladies.
I hope I'm not late to the party. I've got something to say. And I want every gentleman here to have a front row seat for this ex-party. Ex-party for the ladies. One side talks, one side stays mute. You carved your covenant in marble, but forgot the feet that swept the pews. We bore the sons that filled these seas. And you signed the pact without the wound that bleeds. I call this court to order, heaven and earth bear witness to that. the blame had a woman's name. Two men sat in the shade of a tree. Adam and Yahweh right in history. They needed a scapegoat, they signed the brief. From that moment on, sin's name was Eve. Leave two men alone, it's always the same. If they can't find a woman, they'll make one to blame. This is my ex-parte, my one woman plea. You created calamity and try to frame me. You call it divine, but the terms were deceived. I stand unbound with chains at my feet. Oh, at Sinai's peak, no woman was hurt. Shekinah silenced her fate. But we didn't concede. The contract is null as defined. May the record show no woman signed. We never needed a savior or lamb, because the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man. Oh, in the land of Egypt we lit the flame. Our mother's prayers, our songs unashamed. We worship the heavens, the stars, the seas. We knew the truth before their decrees. At Sinai the men left us behind, abandoning women, leading the blind. We bore the children, we kept the fire. They stood on our backs as they climbed higher. Once our rituals were pure, hands in the earth, spirit sure. With Asherah raised, they gave us no choice. But no God, no man can silence her voice. May it please the court to hear my battle cry. We denounce the God, we denounce the lies. The pens were theirs, the scrolls they made. It is man's guilt and man that needs saved. Rise up now, behold the power. It's time they bow. Final was never ours to share. Without the glory, there's no guilt to bear. Every woman today stands free. If sin is own, man holds the deed. The contract is null as defined. May the record show no woman signed. We never needed a savior or lamb, because the truth is sin's name is man. Yes, sin's name is man. Yes, the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man. Yes, the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man.
My album Ex Parte will be coming out on Spotify. I write the lyrics. Yes, the music and the vocals are AI from the Suno app. All of my songs are in my Discord along with my anti-sermons. And if you haven't read those anti-sermons, you should. I will be doing a podcast of them very soon. I'm going to start recording that this week. So we should be able to get some episodes up pretty soon. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I never know how these shows are going to go. This was up, it was down, it had, it got a little violent maybe sometimes. I don't know. It was just a little wild and unhinged. But Nick, Hammy, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you both.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Is there somebody we could raid right now? Is Trust But Verify live? Sandra, is she live? Okay.
If you give me a sec, I can look it up.
Okay, cool. I will give you that sec. Oh, is Joel live? I know there's only like 12 of us because everybody already went over to Joel's. No, I'm just kidding. We could just raid Joel if Joel is live. Ty here, is Joel live? JRB is JRB. And all right, everybody head over to Joel and say Crystal is better than you, Joel. That's what, and then say raid. Crystal is better than you, Joel. Raid. Okay? All right, love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you around the mean streets of TikTok and YouTube. Bye, everybody.